Your match referee today is Mike Smith, and the two scorers in the scorebox here with me, Caroline Green and Rod Cole. The Silver Vipers team, in Georgia Adams. Hen's end is going to the castle end and Rose at the park end. $40.
Right, good afternoon and welcome to Arundel Castle.
Bowling from the Vipers from the park end, wearing 61, Freya Davis.
For today's Charlotte Edward Cup between some Vipers and Sunrise. We've got a bit of a rudimentary commentary system today, hence the loud PA you can hear. It'll be Freya Davies to open the bowling, to Grace Griffins. And here she comes and well sent by Davina now. Cut into the offside and we're underway alongside with Alex Smith. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Wes. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
It's absolutely stunning day today. Blue skies, really big crowds. They had to open up a second car park today. Great bank holiday days here in West Sussex.
If you are in the area, wanted to come along, tickets are £10 for adults, £5 for under 17s. Some issue with the cameras at the moment. It's Davies in again, whilst at Scrivens once again. Cut away down to deep third, and the Sunrise are off the mark for today. It's a rematch of Friday night's game over at Chelsea, where the Vipers completed a pretty comprehensive 19-run victory in the end. Georgia Elwis and Freya Kemp both making their best Charlotte Edwards Cup scores. Mary Taylor picked up the bowls with 2 wickets, 1 apiece for Davies and Smith as well. Have you had a look at the pitch, Alex?
I haven't looked from their victory on Friday night. That means that's Charlie Knott, Georgia Elwis, Mary Taylor, Georgia Adams, Freya Kemp, Emily Windsor, Nancy Harmon, Alice Monaghan, Reese Southby, Lindsay Smith, Freya Davies, the 11. There's 1 change for the Sunrisers. Go to after this delivery.
Running on and back past Davies and
Georgia Elwis.
get right.
Made 1 change in that game overnight. Kate Coppat, the fast bowler, has come out, and Sophie Monroe, she's on loan from the Blaze, comes in for her Sunrise debut. So that means it's Grace Griffins and Jo Gardner who are batting at the moment. Cordelia Griffiths, Paddy Villiers, Melissa McLeod, Jodie Bucock, Glenn Miller, Mark Hart, Eva Gray, Nicola Hancock, and Sophie Monroe.
Davies in again to Scrivens down the leg side. First wide of the day, well taken by Southby. Moving to her right.
In terms of the pitch, you asked that a minute ago. You know what you're getting here at Arundel. You know you're going to get a pitch which is good for batting. That I think we've both been here enough times to know that if you get in on a pitch like this, you can really cash in. Sort of seen it what here in a KSL match. We saw it last year. Georgia Adams really sort of going well on Rachel Hay-Hogan.
Once again down the leg side from Davies. Another run to the total.
2 Rachel Hay-Hogan games here last season for the Vipers.
Yeah, well, more 1.5 really. First game against the Diamonds rained off pretty much exactly halfway through their innings, but still enough time for Mary Taylor to bowl. Absolutely fairly. Davies once again to Scrivens, another one down the leg side. A diving stop this time from Southby behind the stumps.
The second one again, Mary Taylor was at the 4, wasn't she? 4 for 39. She came up with that great quote afterwards, didn't she? Where she said, "I just bowl." What she does, I just bowl.
She does just bowl.
Where she did a very good social post on that, didn't you?
Thank you very much.
TikTok on going along with that. So she's had a great start to the tournament as well. So I'm sure we'll see her, if not from the other end, the end of this over, but in a minute. We've taken 4 wickets in 2 matches.
Davies once more driven slightly uppishly by Scriven and a diving stop from Freya Kemp at mid-wicket. So he's probably a couple of runs there. Sunrisers 5 for no loss in this first over.
Both Scrivens, who haven't had a great start to the tournament yet. 8 in the first game and then did a duck. Second ball duck.
Second ball duck, yeah. Chip to cut a really good catch from Charlie on that.
Yes, it was.
Diving one-handed at cover.
Right over her head, wasn't it? Stick the mitt out and it sticks.
Davies, the Scrivens, again, chipped out to Freya Kemp at wicket. And that is the end of the first over. Sunrisers 5 without loss.
Just seen there was a score at the bottom of the scorecard, so I can look over that. Just panicking a bit. We're sitting right next to the score box. And on the top of the bank, if you know it, top corner there. And as you to the side of it, you can't see what it's saying on it. Or thankfully, we've got the stream. Courtesy of George Isaacs next to us, the analyst. Because he's been very manfully putting the cameras up. So it looked a bit of. The speaker is right above us, so you probably hear it before we can tell you. With Lindsay Smith, who went forward to start, didn't play the first game, and then 1 for 23 the other day. Yeah, pushed into the leg side there. One thing you're going to get with oh, this very close. How's your luck? Joe Gardner, an inside edge, goes down to that fine leg, and come back to 2. Joe Gardner the other night, how good was that? Well,
Maybe a little bit nervous too. In the Vikings coverage.
79 not out, and some of the shots she hit towards the end as well. Just when put on a good partnership with Maddie Villiers, and then kicked on at the end. This time she hits into her own pads there, and I think you don't want to necessarily do to Lindsay Smith and go back to her too often. That always very accurate. It's going beyond your stumps, and if you miss, she will hit. Sometimes in the arc, and she hits it over onto the leg side. That's a very strange lie there. She committed to the dive, it got stopped, and then the ball got to her. Who's it down there? Is that Monaghan down there? No. Right in the far side of the ground, and there's pink and red and orange down there. It's all merging into one.
Somebody waving down there.
Good stop there. So backs away from it, tries to play into the offside, and this time it's tell that's Nancy Harmon there, cover. Stops it. You can't quite see that on the stream, can you? You can only see the pitch here. Big appeal, but hit that into her own pad. Sort of good pressure.
You hear the 2 noises from here, I think.
Yeah, good pressure from Lynch Smith there. Only 4 runs from the over. Score 9 without loss after 2 overs. See, 6 overs in the power play, isn't it? Which means you can have 2 fielders outside the circle for the first 6 overs. And then the second half you can have 4.
Yeah. 4 in women's cricket, 5 in men's cricket. It looks like we have a change of bowling already. It would be Mary Taylor to replace Freya Davies from Park End.
I believe
the other end's cast.
Definitely the other end's
The cast is definitely the far side.
See the cast. I think there's a medieval festival happening there today as well.
Change at Park End. On your card, Mary Taylor.
Confirmation. This is the Park End.
What's she done with her kit?
Taylor bowls to Scrivens. She backs down the ground. Adams, the fielder, at mid-off, sorry.
Been the pick of the bowlers, hasn't she, Mary Taylor, so far in this competition. That Blaze game, she gets a really good bounce on that really strange pitch, which everyone when you talk to the players afterwards, sort of
they thought it was okay.
They said it was a really good pitch and sort of didn't understand why it's such a low-scoring game.
Taylor running in once more. Balls to Scrivens and a slight inside edge of the bat. Ball's running out to deep backward square. Emily Windsor down there. Does it for all they think about a second. Really quick to take the glove off and right back to Taylor at the bowler's end. Just the single. Good work from Windsor out there patrolling the boundary rope, as she so often does.
you know with where people are going to be standing by and large, that Windsor on one side, Alison on hand on the other. Alison on hand on this side of the ground, as it were, and Franklin Head.
Taylor. Bars to Garner. Ooh, slightly low that one, maybe.
A little bit. I think that was largely, she played over the top for a little bit, but she sort of was leaning back and stayed. Nothing, of course, of concern going forward. Trying to see what George put in the analyst, whether he thought it stayed low or not. That's true.
Can't see it, the Kevin.
Taylor pass and fire Devi. Bars another full. Driven powerfully out by Garner. Out to extra cover. Windsor runs round to her right. And Scrivens comfortably comes back for the second. Takes Sunrisers on 12 for no wickets.
Little fumble there from Emily, which committed Sunrisers to a second run. Otherwise, it could have been very close.
Yeah, Garner was almost asking Scrivens, "Oh, do you want it? Do you want it?"
Yeah, Gardner is very quick between the wickets.
Taylor top of the mark again. Garner box slightly shorter and punched out to mid-on. Adams a diving stop. Keeps it down to a single.
Again, a little fumble there from the field. I'd say it's ball's hit harder to again. Field is sort of sliding early to the ball. It's almost expecting the ground to have a little bit more give. Quite a bit of rain in the last couple of months, and pitch maybe isn't sort of as slidey as the field you're expecting. I think it was Freya Davis down the far end in the last over, having slid early, and then the ball sort of got to her before she got to it.
So to Scrivens, flicked away down the leg side, and this could be the first boundary of the day. It will, as the ball just trickles over the rope down at fine leg. Takes Scrivens on to 7, and the boundary to end the over. Sunrisers 17 without loss after 3.
So you're going to capitalise on that. It's down your leg side. Field is up on the fine leg. Swing through it and run away here. While I say this, it's not easy to slide on the ball. Run away pretty quickly down the hill there. Looks like Lindsay Smith is going to stay on for her second over. She's going to stick on. Or for her first over. Mary Taylor, 8 of her first over. The other day as well, she can't remember her first or second over at Sunrisers at the County Ground Chelmsford. Bowled really tight over in the last one.
Soldier
Lindsay's done a little juke there. She took her cap off. She doesn't have a
Didn't wear a cap, no?
No, she doesn't wear a cap. She's got a button and went to stand in her position and then gave the ball to Georgia Adams. Ball right arm off spin. Slingy actions straight and block straight back down the ground. So that's how they're duping the batters, they're duping the bowlers, duping the commentators.
Duping everyone here, duping the crowd.
She really gets the ball back to her quickly, and that's hit back down the ground. 1 bounce, 2 bounces. The fielder going to get there? She does, but only to push it over the boundary road. Sunrise are starting to motor here a little bit. 21 without loss now. That is Joe Gardner. Down hitting. Lovely strike there, straight down the ground.
Yeah, beautiful strike, well timed. Straight into that half mid off.
And backs away and pushes it into the leg side and will take the run to Lindsay Smith. Possibly sort of the more straightest middle hit round the corner of it. And that she's going to be doing the most running today. Well, while these two are back. Rosie Dovey, the umpire, that's going square leg to square leg and put on a nice little trot there. Did almost flank an opening batter. Found out the other day. Speaking to former test umpire Ian Gould, who was around for a Hampshire game. I didn't realise how high her cricketing pedigree went. It's over here. She's in Berkshire. Head. Just moving has one man slightly round square leg to. I think she's now in front of the umpire. And she's coming around the wicket, and that's just carved away into the offside. Emily brings her to pick up and get in. Very, very simple single. Nice little text from Kevin James.
He's listening in.
He's listening in. Hello, Kevin James. Very polite about our commentary so far. That's cut away, the outside edge. Going to run away here towards the bank, but it should be got by Freya Davis. Just gets there, just below the bank. Then come back for 3 runs. In it comes. Another one again. Comes Dovey having to come across the wicket. It's difficult for bowlers. We saw that in the first over with Freya Davies, trying to get that right hand, left hand combination, trying to get that length and that line right. And you're having to swap over. Seeing Georgia Adams, she's negating that by coming around the wicket to the left-handed Grace Scrivens. Goes for a big power hit. Oh, just out of reach of mid-on, and that's going to be 4 more for Grace Scriven. Lovely strike there. Really clean power hitting.
Right, just sort of opened up the legs, opened up the arms, and I'd say a clean strike over Ellis at mid-off, and slightly expensive start for Adams in her first over, 13 off it. Sunrisers moved to 30 for their 4 overs.
She was relatively expensive the other day, the most expensive of the Viper bowlers in the Sunrise game. She didn't play the opener. That's the first game she'd ever missed in the Shard Overs Cup.
And only, I believe, it's second overall for Waters, obviously not including the time she spent at, was it the Lightning?
She was at
KSL?
the Lightning in KSL, yes.
Right.
She spent the first season, I think, at Vipers in KSL, and then went up to Upper Lightning, where she was a university student and coming through with the likes of Anya Shrubs for most of domestic
players.
I think, looking at that there, I think Bria Griffiths, I think was that era. I think Joe Gardner might be in that area. So a lot of players.
Elwes as well.
Elwes, Georgia Elwes, of course. Great friends. I'm looking down the scorecard, seeing if there's anyone else. I think
excellent for graduates.
There might be a couple of others. Nancy Harmon go to Knock. I mean, Alice Monaghan definitely did.
Davies, slight inside edge from Garner. Well stopped by Southby behind the stumps.
You say well stopped. It's just stopped with
South,
but you know that if the ball comes through to her, it's not going past her.
Very rarely
going
misses.
very wide.
And took another excellent stumping. James was very quick with the hands. I think that's standing up to Lindsay St. Actually, no, it might be one of the scenes, actually.
It was
Davies, up dense, driven beautifully back down the ground by Joe Gardner. Another boundary to her, and then takes her into the 20s now.
She's continuing how she left off on Friday night, where she was hitting those balls at the end. In the last over in the game had gone, she hit a couple of sixes into the what was the Hayes Close end. I think it's now called the Graham Gooch end at Chelmsford. She hits some mean balls. It's a strange one, the way she's been at Sunrisers since the beginning, i.e. 2020. Has a lot of different roles. She's been a medium pace bowler, she's an off spin bowler, which she does occasionally now. She's been a finisher in the team, she's batted in the middle order, and now she seems to have found a way in the Shard Overs Cup this year, opening the batting, and I think it's a really good suit for her.
Davies, and once more, driven back to the bowler, well stopped by Davies.
Yeah, hits the ball very sweetly, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
A number of players in the counter scene that see a couple later on with Freya Kemp is one of the cleanest hitters, but Joe Gardner as well. If she wants to swing her arms, she can hit it a long way, either on the floor or in the air.
Davies running in again. Whilst the Garner, not quite timed. This one from Garner goes out to Charlie Knott. It's a greatish mid-wicket.
The first commentator's curse of the day, that after saying how sweetly she hit the ball, that came off the inside part of the bat. Just changing the field here. Emily Windsor has come in off the boundary on the offside, and they've taken Charlie Knott out of the ring and put her out of the boundary at deep mid-wicket now.
Arsenal by Davies and driven once again beautifully back down the ground. As I said, some sweet timing from Gardner here this afternoon at Arundel. She moves to 24. Sunrisers to 38.
It's 2 innings I can think of when I come to Arundel. Well, there's 3 instances I can remember coming down to Arundel. One was a men's blast match when Surrey played Sussex here. Rory Burns and Moses Enriques collided with each other, and the game got abandoned. That was my first time I came here. But the other 2 to think of, both full of powerful wound batting, elite batting.
Davies to complete her over to Garner. Oh, an appeal caught down the leg side, not given by umpire Dovey. Not given a wide though, so
no, there was definitely a sound there. It was definitely a sound. It didn't sound very woody to me. So good spots from Miss Dovey. But let's go back to those 2 innings at the end of that over. It's now 38 without loss after 5 overs, 1 more over the power play. Switching around down at here, that year that Lions didn't do too well in the KSL 2018, and one of the original inaugural year 2016 and 2017 losing finals. 2018 they finished the bottom of the pile, but definitely down the bottom, really strong. They came here on really low on confidence, got bowled out fairly cheaply, and then switching Mandana absolutely honked the ball straight a lot. That's very noticeable in that game. I remember the Pipers trying to sweep and play it square of the wicket, and then switching Mandana to the side. Way to go. And Lindsay Smith is going to come back after that 1-over experiment from the skipper, George Adams. Over the wicket. Blocked to the offside. And at the beginning of that game, it's just Saturday, you saw today that they actually had the nets on the square to do some warm-ups. Fetched the ball for one Sunrise and threw it back. Could take on the single. And it's going to have to be quick. South being picked. Not out. Do love that from Rihanna Southby.
It's that trademark, isn't it? Points at the umpire.
It's not.
She always knows which side the umpire is on.
She never gets it wrong. Saw it in the 100, we've seen it in Vipers many, many times. And more often than not, she's usually got the batter outside the crease. Good appeal there, and she makes Dovey having to run to the other side. So left the Scrivens back on strikes to Smith. Played very sensibly, sort of just take that single down the ground, long on. That is the end of the over and the end of the power play. 41 without loss. Vipers probably happy, but I think Sunrise, there's no wickets lost yet. That was the key on Friday night, wasn't it? Not losing the wickets, really building it back.
Yeah, I think both sides can be relatively happy. Lady Smith showcasing exactly why she was brought into that England side.
On the end, 41 without loss.
Smith continued just separated
on the
first 2 over.
Outside the 25-yard circle.
We wait for the PA to tie down here. Smith back in, back to back. England.
Yes, very.
Right.
It's very sweet. Just get floated. A lot of paper rolling around.
Someone's lost a score.
You've got captain, head and night, and players like that who can sort of bowl in the middle order and all rounders. So
punched into the onside by Scrivens for that. Sorry,
that's left-handed.
Trying to do the tweets as well.
If Wes is pausing today, he's also on the Southern Vipers social media, which is at Southern Vipers. If you want to follow along,
Vipers
underscore. Sorry,
got to have that underscore in there, which is very annoying.
For your updates and clips from the game as well.
Punched into the offside this time by Gardner. Up to Windsor, doing the fielding up cover boundary.
So where do you stand with sort of that Lindsay Smith in terms of, do you get rewarded for your quality, or the players who are playing for England who are doing a good job that set that balance to sort of match up?
Yeah, it is a tricky one. She performed pretty well in New Zealand. Took a wicket with her first ball back in international cricket.
About 5 years, 6 years, wasn't it?
About 5 years, yes. Taylor in from the park end. I was flipped into the onside by Scrivens and slightly annoyed with her. She absolutely timed the pants off today, but straight to Charlie Knott. Charlie Knott at mid wicket.
Little shuffle, and Charlie Knott was on this side of the ground, the right side. As we're sitting, the right side of the ground, which is the offside for the left hand, at this end facing up.
Taylor in once more. Well, slightly shorter and flashed over the top. And is there a catch or no? And just short of Brett Kemp. That long they will come through for a single. Squeezed to 44 hits.
That stayed in the air slightly longer than Brett Kemp thought. She thought it was just an easy one that's going to be one bounce in, then realised the ball staying up for slightly longer and might have to put in a dive. Back to the ball. Just as she was thinking of putting in that dive, the ball dropped down. Get us up, buddy.
Taylor to Garner, defended into the offside. They'll come through for a quick single and it fairly easy in the end, despite the dive from stopped in fielding cover.
Proactive though, isn't it? It's keeping that scoreboard ticking, making sure that. Say Taylor the other day, she was 229. There was quite an expected over at the end. Before that, she was only going at about 6. And didn't she shift the other end going? What's she today? She went about
3.5. Yes, not those two. Taylor in once more to Scrivens, short and pulled down the leg side. Fine leg comes round, keeps it to just the one run.
Davies down there, I think, well fielded. She's been a great addition, actually, Freya Davies to the Vipers team this year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, an experienced seamer is sort of what Vipers need if they did need anything coming
With
into this season.
Anya Shrubsall retiring, that's filling that gap with someone who sure will still have England ambitions in their head. She juggled her Vipers game so far this season with the law. It's legal. Is it law? She's trained to be a solicitor or something along those lines.
Wearing 88, Charlie Knott.
Yes, Charlie Knott coming on the Australian overseas. She's also been a good find, new player for this year. She takes the overseas berth in this competition from Nicole Fulton, who kept wicket last year.
Yeah, and Megan Brown last week. Those few games for the 100.
Yeah, she's playing the Charlotte Evans Cup. Megan Brown now.
Fulton for that competition.
She comes round the wicket with her spin into the ground. Bit of a drag down. There's a catching chance to just fall short. Nancy Harmon down there. Again, and there's a mix-up. She reaches Southby, takes off the stumps, but all came to the wrong end. If Southby, it was Harmon's drop in the deep, or not drop. No, that's very nice. Didn't carry. Fell short in the deep, and then Freya Davies came across to throw the ball in, and Scrivens and Joe Gardner sort of got to halfway down, had a little meeting in the middle to decide whether they wanted to continue the running or not. And the ball was coming in, and Joe Gardner just got back in time. Chaotic start to Charlie Knott.
To sort of paying attention to sort of Scrivens was going to be out or not, and then found himself in man's land in the middle of the wickets.
Charlie Knott this time bites up a bit more. It's in the air again, but it's a one bounce to Adams at mid-off. Looks like the person who's had a dislocated finger recently sort of saw the ball coming very powerfully and sort of took a little step back to make sure it cushioned into the hand. A lot of dislocated fingers in this Vipers team, isn't there? Most of them Emily Winter, of course. Charlie Knott really tossed up, really flighted. Joe Gardner tried to go after it and can't get it at all. On the side, no run. Emily Winter's now sorted out at the did an operation over the winter, but last year, every other week you heard everyone's dislocated their finger again. Actually, don't this time. Closing a car boot door.
That change in the field here is Monaghan comes in for an extra cover. Adams back out at long off now.
Now got 4 out. Go through those. That's worked into the leg side. Should come back for 2 here. It's gone past the numberless Larry Taylor as Emily Winter come across, and they do come back for 2. Well run again. I know there was that mix-up a couple of balls ago, but other than that, they've run very well.
Pretty well, yeah.
Taken on, when they've wanted to take on a ball, they've really gone through with it and hit straight down the ground and wouldn't go through it, and then sort of pick those gaps, which they can now find a couple more of with those fielders out. Drag down a little bit. I think that's pro-ended into the leg side, no, just settle for 1. 2 fielders on leg side, back, Kemp, not now, because they've got a left-hander and they're going to have 3 leg side fielders out. So you've got deep square, deep mid-wicket and long on. Then on the offside, you've got Emily Windsor trolling the point boundary. And round the wicket now, Charlie Knott. Young gun from the women's Big Bash in Australia over winter. Here's Matita. She comes around the wicket into the pitch again, and she goes into that leg side. Well protected, as we just said. She worked quite hard there, Alice Barnham, to get across and stop it. And pushes it on to Lindsay Smith, and 2 more runs to score. 50 up, 50 partnership for the 2 openers for Sunrisers. The end of the over. 2 without loss. I think the scoreboard is still just that ticking along. Come on, George, pick through. Definitely the end of the over. That's what I can definitely confirm with Scrivens on 17, Joe Gardner on 30, scoring an overrunnable. No, just
I was just waiting.
Just waited to.
Just done me there, completely done. Both scoring over. Smith coming back, swapping ends now.
I was interested to see actually Lindsay Smith field it. So that one, it's not often you see Smith on the patch. She's usually more of a.
I think that was that. She was in the ring for the right-hander, in the left-hander. She did pushing out. You know how they come in and out like a tide, the left and right-handers. Let's have a look I'll have a look up while you do this over best opening stands for Sunrise in this competition.
Smith, left arm round to Garner, drilled back at Smith and caught on fingertips there.
Also, the most painful thing. I've been worse in the first game of the season. First couple of overs, taking that first one.
It's cold and wet in April pre-season, which Smith in again. Defended this time by Gardner. Another dot ball from Smith. It's really been an excellent start.
Wet being the operative word for your club ground, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's very little. It's
like a never go game.
Look at the player on it. Next game at Prize International. Smith in cut away by Gardner, but can't find the gap. I think that's only when they're at point. It's only 3 dots to start the over from Smith. Pressure building slightly on Jo Gardner. 30 off 30 for her. Smith in once more from the park end, tossed up and drilled back down the ground from Gardner. There is fielder out at long off. Charlie Knott trolling the boundary rope out there. First run off the over for Smith.
To need to put a disclaimer on these stats that I'm using a very popular, well-known cricket website. I realised last night they haven't got all the Charlotte Edwards Cup games on it for their Charlotte Edwards Cup stats pages, so we'll use it as a guideline.
Yeah.
It might not be fact, but you'll get a taster of where it stands in best partnerships. But I believe this, according to the games they've got on here, the previous best opening stand in the Charlotte Edwards Cup was a 50 stand between Grace Scrivens and Julia Griffiths, 2022. I don't think it's got 2021 games on here, so.
Down the track comes Scrivens, drives out to Kemp, out here at long off. Scores of 54.
May well be their best opening stand in the competition. It may not, but
this is the insight you get when
you don't get
James and BBC isn't here. Fielders out on the boundary, all 3 out on the leg side, 1 out on the offside. Smith in and sort of points across the line a bit from Gardner there, and find Monaghan at deep mid wickets.
We're playing by these rules. Let's play by these rules. It's easier. The highest stand for any wicket for the Sunrisers, Jo Gardner and Amara Khan, 81 for the 6th wicket. Against Sparks, 2022 at Northampton.
If there are people that
have
I missed that. 55, sorry. Off 9 overs.
Well, Adams again.
Split from both ends now. And Sunrise perhaps slightly frustrated not to, as it's their highest opening partnership, that just going at their own ball, sort of up that a little bit, maybe.
Potentially, here is George Adams over the wicket. Yes, they are trying to up it, just up and over Natalie Harmons. Definitely going to be 2 runs. Lindsay Smith throwing the boundary again out there. Gets a throw in. So is George Adams the player to attack? You know you're not going to get much change out of Lindsay Smith. Mary Taylor's bowling tightly at the moment. Freya Davies, she bowled 3 wides there. She's got 13 of her first 2 overs. Advances down the ground there to Jo Gardner and just single down to Longer. But you really have to pick who you're going to choose. And that first George Adams over went for 13. They'll see that, saw that first ball of the over where they saw that intent again and look to go down the ground. Whether this is the bowler they can go after, because as we saw the other night, that four were very difficult to get away. Always into second, change the field again. Left hand ball 5.
When you look at that type of bowling lineup,
advance and hit straight into Freya Kemp, and Harry's behind her, and she's hurt herself there. She's hit her on the wrist. She rolls the ball away and sort of. Georgia Earl's just gone to check if she's okay. Oh no, she's not. No, she wasn't checking if she was okay. She's sending her out the boundary because it's the right-hander. So there's no sympathy here at all. Freya Kemp looking at her wrists in pain, and Georgia Earl says, "No, off you pop." Georgia Earl was off you pop to the boundary.
Tell Els is the senior person there in the team.
Exactly. Freya Kemp being moved slightly straighter here. So she comes in again, tosses it up. It's down the ground. This could be a catching chance. 2 straight though, and it's first 6 of the day. It's another really powerful Struck shot straight down the ground by Joe Gardner.
Yeah, takes her to 41, as you say, first 6 of the day. And as you say, Alex, they do seem to be targeting Adams a bit more than the others. 23 runs conceded from 10 balls so far.
I think the point you're about to make, and I will jump on it to make it my own point, is that they do have other options. If they feel like George Adams is getting a little bit too much tap, you can go to your Nancy Harmons, your Alice Monaghan's, who may otherwise not get a bowl today, because that's half into the offside. They didn't get a bowl on Friday night that just the 5 bowlers used. But in the Blaze game, they used 7 bowlers and all of them took a wicket.
Yeah.
All of them took a wicket, so Ava Lee got a wicket as well. It's a talented off spinner. Well here last year as well. That's right. It's just a very calmly pushed into the offside, big gap in the offside where the county fielder is, and that's a single, and that's the end of this over. Just try and do some maths on there. I had one, but I don't know if it's counted that ball yet. So I think it's
That's fine. 66 point. Scored on to 66 without loss.
phoned by the voice in the sky.
We don't know who it is, though. It's usually Richard Isaacs.
Yeah, he's just sitting outside. I must chat with Richard Isaacs. He's preparing to go out to the men's T20 World Cup in he's a lovely little trip to Dallas, Florida. Which, pretty envious of that, although slightly less envious of his day yesterday. He was at the
Mark and Freya Davis.
couple of overs in the England vs Pakistan women's game before it absolutely ticked it down. Came with no results. Who's this coming back? Freya Davis back.
Yeah. We had a much better day at Euclid as well yesterday, watching Hampshire, their record innings victory of all time, not just against Surrey. Innings and 278 run win.
Champion Surrey,
Indeed, yes. Davies returning from the park, 10 balls and driven beautifully by Gunner. Oh, was the catch, actually. I didn't see Charlie not out there. That's a long one. A well-timed shot from Gardner, but not enough to get it over the head of Knott. And the Vipers have the breakthrough, 66 for 1.
danger as well. Joe Gardner, she was so good the other day. She got 42 today. Go back. So she timed that pretty well as well. Just didn't quite get enough elevation. Sort of wasn't a proper swing. It was quite a bit of a checked shot down the ground, and no mistake from Charlie Knott at long off. Pretty safe hands. I can't think of her ever dropping a ball. She done so.
Pretty safe hand off the base of what we saw last week at Challenge.
John part of the one, Freya Davis for 42. 39 balls, 3 balls and 1 6.
Stats there.
You go back. Number 3 on the card, wearing number 6, Cordelia Griffiths.
Cordelia Griffiths, 2 2s so far this season in this competition. Good competition in the Rachel Hay-Ho, I seem to remember. I mean, the scorecard seems like she's been a real mainstay of this Sunrisers top order. That this first couple of years where Sunrisers, it's fair to say, had to try and find their feet to regions who hadn't previously been a KSL and had to almost sort of start from scratch. That she was sort of someone who really sort of gave some maturity at the top of the innings.
She was their leading run scorer in last year's competition, Griffith, with just over 200 runs to the net. The only Sunrisers batter, I believe, to get into 3 figures in runs last season. All the others under 100 runs in their 6 matches.
This is more of the time to bring out the really unwanted stat about Sunrisers. They've only won 1 game in the Shire Overs Cup since it started in 2021, but that does not show what they've been producing. That just push into the offside, a quick push and go. That's a way to start from Cordelia Griffiths. Let's try and really get your partner moving at the other end. 1 tied game. That was at Thunder, Northampton 2021. 1 win against a Storm in 2021.
Yeah, their very first game.
It was their very first game. Very first win as a team. I mean, not one in the 50 competition either, but it feels like they've turned a leaf. Are they top of the Rachel
Hay Trophy?
Is it halfway point? I think it's halfway point. At the break.
The 6 games into 14-game season. They've beaten the Vipers 3 times in a row. They have done in the 50 over competition. Davies ran the wicket this time to the left-handed screen. The slower ball gets one punched back down pitch. Another dot hole. Good ball. Yeah, it's almost Yorker length, that one.
Really good changer. That's what you expect from this experienced players like sort of Freya Davis, who've been around England set up for so long. Yes, they have a great stock ball. It's that change up, how you sort of take wickets, sort of different ways. Well, there's another one, I think.
Another one.
Charlie Knott on the deep mid-wicket boundary. That's 2 in the over for Claire Davis. This is a good turnaround from the Vipers. No wickets in the first 10 overs. And the 11th over, they've got 2 in 4 balls. That is Grace Scriven's gone for 21, so both openers gone within 4 balls of each other. So I know this is your over, Wes, but I can see you're very quickly trying to do your day job with the thing. 2 in and over, 2 fingers up there is what's going to be on the tweet. To give spoilers.
Grace Scrivens was again caught by Charlie Knott off the bowling of Freya Davis, this time 21.
It's going to be Maddie Villiers coming in next. She batted very well the other day.
Number 4 on the card, wearing 26. Maddie Villiers.
For me, shots Grace Scrivens didn't have to make. I know there's a little bit of pressure with the wicket, but after losing 1 wicket, trying to rebuild that second partnership. Whenever you speak to players, they always talk about building those partnerships. Going for a big shot there, I know she's obviously going to be confident, having been in for quite a while, 21 off 24 balls, 23 balls before that delivery. Yeah.
Maybe a shot of frustration, perhaps, from Scriven scoring it under a run of ball, trying to get them in. But then, as you say, they did just have Griffith, the new batter, come in. Now Davies bowling to 2 new batters. Sunrise is 67 for 2.
Yeah, to go back on that, but I don't think they need to be frustrated at this point. There's so long left in this innings. It's halfway through that I can't remember what Vipers were the other day in that innings, but they wouldn't have been too far off 60, 70 odd runs at the halfway point. It really kicked off to 66 off the last 5 overs.
Was indeed. Went to the offside by Billy for her first door. Yeah. Really good over this from Friday. Obviously those 2 wickets, but just conceding that 1 run as well.
14 runs, first 2.5, so all shy of 3 overs. I'll leave that last ball.
Driven out into the offside and slight fumble from Knott. They come through for the quick. Oh, direct here. What a throw from Charlie Knott. It's all her in the field today. And Griffith is run out for a single. And that is a big, big wicket for the Vipers. Sunrisers lose 3 wickets in the 11th over. They're 67 for 3.
Well, it's a case at the moment in the field of not who's there. It's Charlie. 2 catches and that run out. Sensational throw. Direct hit, and always looked like she was struggling, but hadn't hit directly. Potentially could have got back, but what a throw. So what can you do this tweet? You're doing the not to it. Maybe spot
from Charlie Knott for just a single.
This is big pressure now on the Sunrise. They're in a good position. 3 wickets. It's the old adage, put 2 wickets onto the
number 5 on the card, wearing 24. D. McLeod.
They put 2 wickets onto the score and see how you feel about that. Well, add 3 and you don't feel very good at all to the Sunrise. 67 for 3 now, having been 66 without loss. Pressure is now on Lissy McLeod. You've got 50 in the opening game of this competition, 54. I think it might be her first professional 50. I
believe so, yeah.
And former Viper.
She is, yeah.
She played in the first year. I think she played a handful of games in the first. I think she's another with the Loughborough lot.
Is that what we're calling them?
The Loughborough lot.
Yeah, that alliteration.
You've also got to remember it's Loughborough as well, like Loughborough, not Loughborough. So this game was turned in a heartbeat now.
It's like it's Adams to continue.
No, definitely is Charlie Knott.
Charlie Knott.
Charlie Knott can't take the ball out of Charlie Knott's hands unless she's throwing at the wickets, which is not a phrase. Coming over the wicket, tries to carve it away there. Maddie Villiers, just inside edge it into the ground. Maddie Villiers has started the season quite well. One goal by Charlie, and 44 last time out against the Vipers. Really sort of threatened with Joe Gardner to chase down the Vipers. Is 171.
171, yeah.
And that's off stump, carves away. Nancy Harmon gets down, can't quite get there, but she didn't really need to dive there at all. That was the dive of someone who wants to make the most of her day out.
Someone who knows Dave Vokes is here. Always take some more excellent photos.
And Neil Marshall's here as well, after all. There's plenty of good photography here around. Paul Barnes. I haven't seen Paul Barnes yet. Nancy Harmon repositions herself, try not to come in to Maddie Villiers. Or was it That's Lissy McLeod now on strike. She goes on to back foot, so push into the offside. Slightly more difficult now that before there was a right hand, left hand, and you knew exactly who was on strike. Now you've got to actually concentrate on.
Got to look for those numbers on the back.
Look for those numbers and those idiosyncrasies that they both have.
We do have the TV screen next to us, which we can.
Which is stuck around up in the air, and what a catch that is! It's one hand out from George Adams. It's just stuck the ball out and it's stuck. And it's Charlie Knott with the wicket. She can't keep herself off the scorecard, but Georgia Adams, what a catch that was, Wes.
That is, but that's up there with one of the best catches I've ever. It almost looked like she wasn't quite going to get there, but it stuck out the one hand. The one hand that I believe was damaged in the first game of the season again.
Left hand, yeah, left hand.
The left hand.
Well, caught by John.
From the cat. It's a shame you can't see that on the camera, but you'll just have to take our word for it.
Absolutely. Where's number 9? Jenny Cookop.
It's one of those where you just stick your hand out and think, can you catch that? Can I catch that? Let's put the hand out and hope it sticks. And boy, did that stick. My word, what a catch that is. Jodie Grewcock, who's coming in next, is a revolving door of Sunrise batters at the moment. So from 66 without loss to 68-4 now. Grewcock, good all-rounder. Really sort of burst onto the scene last year against the Vipers. Would she make a debut in that game which George Adams didn't play in 50 over?
Yeah, she got runs in there, 4 wickets as well.
She got 4 wickets in a 50, I think.
In England under 19 as well recently.
She was, yes. One of those to keep an eye on, and handily for us. She's left-handed.
She is left-handed, I think.
So,
in this,
eyes knows left-handed. She usually didn't research. How would you get her out, George?
down the start of this sort of week.
George does the analysis.
She got 50 against us in Radlett.
In the Hampshire Cricket game.
We bowled a lot of hit, that's all I'm saying. We're not going to do that again. She's strong now.
Don't bowl too straight to her, I think is the message.
Is
the message from the
Typical left-hander.
I think nothing wrong with left-handed batters. She always say that.
Coming round the wicket to her. Tries to make some space for herself, but sort of gets tucked up. Goes straight back. Run, see, over. Yes, this one run. So .1 wicket so far here from Charlie Knott. She's only gone for 7 runs so far. 1 ball shy of 2 overs. It's tossed up a little bit, and that's given me a single. So 1 for 8 off her 2 overs for Charlie Knott. That really is a great young player.
She's been exceptional for the Vikings really since Chicago. Perhaps a bit of an unknown to some fans. As I say, young gun in the women's Ash competition. She's got that maiden century against Western Storm in the Hay Oakland Trophy. He's got, I believe, a couple of wickets as well. And it's not just with the bat, but with the ball as well. And in the field, as she's shown today, she really has been a brilliant signing.
Well, see that catch she took in the Women's Big Bash, which wasn't too dissimilar to Georgia Adams, but in the other direction. So you wasn't going over her head, just diving forward. I think it was one of the catches of the tournament. I've seen those.
And he catch up Adams.
Georgia Adams returning. She's swapped end. She bowled the first 2 from the other end. So she's trying her luck from the park end. Right arm round the wicket.
Driven back by Grewcock. Down the ground. Freya Kemp still here with us at long on. Single to the score. Sunrisers moved to 70.
We're very lucky here to
split. Moynihan Harmon out split. Moynihan Harmon out here on our right. Much needed boundary for the Sunrisers to inform short appealing at Denver.
Due to be played, due to his round and diamonds. Essentially, shipping into the last. I mean, going up to tee up things there.
Full of ball from Adams and well swept again from Maddie Villiers. Harmon running round to her right. Bring the ball in. Side another one far.
One batting cheers.
It's the place to be.
Been the end of that very good for
13 overs.
Of course, really time to have a look. 30 down to just right 14. Probably par might be probably 150. 140 would be a competitive score.
Yeah, going at exactly a run of ball, Sunrise at the moment. Want to develop that in these last 7 overs or so. Yeah, I think they'd be disappointed not to get 130, 140, you would think.
Again, they've got to rebuild again here. Also, we saw the start of that, the shoots of that recovery from Maddie Villiers sweeping. We'll see what Jodie Woodcock can do. With Charlie not continuing. The Castle end, round the wicket, into the leg side. Go right. See here, just a position just underneath us. So should be some pictures from a similar angle from we're seeing. Look out to his social stream Clayton, best flogged in the game for me. That's work back to the bowling. Very lucky to have him, aren't you, Wes?
We are very lucky. Yeah, he's taken some blinded photos already. Have you seen Hampshire v Warwickshire where Hassan Ali praying to, I can't remember who the umpire was, but
so just turned into the bowl or anywhere to find this Hampshire player. Dave Brooks is going to snap it. That's outside off stump. That's up in the air. That could be caught. Should be caught. No, not quite. It's always spinning away from Georgia Ellis. So it looked like it was going towards her. Just with the mix of a little bit of a breeze going in that direction, spin of the ball went away from her. It's only going to be a single there. A little bit of a life there. There wasn't the breeze. Could well have seen a dive there from Georgia Ellis, although would have taken some catching. We have another George on the pitch. He would have probably caught that today, based on their luck. There were a conflab here between Adams and Knock. What they want to do with the field. There's nothing changed. So still sort of those 3 fielders out on the leg side and the 1 fielder on the off side. They also sort of wing field as you expect. So cut away to that fielder on the off side, Alison Monaghan. Gets the ball in on the bounce, as you do, as you try to scuff the ball up a little bit as legally as you can. We've got that strike 9 now. I can't work out if that's, every time I look at that screen I can't work out if it's what speed it's going at, whether we're on board or not. I think it's live. It's definitely 80 for 4. There's a not the ground looking. That's worked into the leg side. Pads, no run. That will be the end of the over. 80 for 4 after 14. At some point, Sunrise need to get on with this. Who can they take down? Is the big question, Wesley.
Yeah, as I said, there really isn't anyone you can sort of target in that Vipers bowling lineup. And as you mentioned, if one of the Sunrisers batters does get hold of one of the bowlers, then the Vipers do have other options. Alice Monaghan with a Emily Windsor.
McGackin with no leg spins there. But very it's the next one to have a go. But just having a look down at the score so far, that there's only 2 overs in this innings where double figures have come off it. I think a couple of 9 come off, but 113 and 111. That's never a great sign in T20 cricket. You want to have a couple more big overs. But Manhattan are going to be fairly small at the moment. It's going to be more like Southampton than New York. Sandal coming across here. We've got Sand Story talent across it.
I would say the crowd today here is very, very, as we mentioned earlier, had to open up an extra car park. There's people all the way around the perimeter of the ground. Taylor balls driven out into the offside. And more fielding from Charlie Knott. It's her day in the field today, that's for sure. Stuck the right hand out, the ball settled nicely into it and almost got the run out as well.
Why you had to pause there.
We've out to Charlie Knott again in the action once more at deep mid wicket. Almost at 82.
It sounds very quiet out there, though. There's a couple of shouts of encouragement. We thought the position they were in that really sort of put that pressure on these 2. Maddie Villiers got a lot of experience, but probably put a bit more pressure on the inexperienced Jodie Croupon.
Slow ball from Taylor, swept out into the onside. Monaghan a diving stop in front. Oh, there could be a run out here. Slightly wideish throw for Mary Taylor to take, and a couple runs for the Sunrisers total. It is to 12.
Some speed between the cricket ball and slow ball for Mary Taylor. They're very, very small there. But when Fred Davies bowled low, it's slightly more subtle. I think that just shows that inexperience and where sort of Harry Taylor will be working on in the next couple of years, I'm sure.
Pace on delivery this time from Taylor. Beats swing from Villiers. Another pretty good stop from Reese. Not
Stump and the offside. Yeah, I'm happy.
Taylor past umpire Dovey. Another slower ball and chipped into the onside. Monaghan out here at deep mid wicket. Again, does the fielding.
That was more subtle to their ball, wasn't it? That was really sort of dipped on Andy Villiers as well. She really had to stretch to sweep that into the next side. One little patch of shadow. Otherwise, it's a beautiful blue skies above us. Shadow in front of the pavilion. Beautiful pavilion as well, isn't it?
Taylor balls through, got clipped behind square. And looks like two fielders converging on that one, and that's a slight miscommunication there, but wins the race out there at deep back of square.
There's always going to be two there, wasn't it? I can't believe we've got an hour into this commentary without using the P word. Or for Arundel. We haven't called it picturesque yet.
We have. No.
We're contractually obligated to call it that to every possible situation. Then, if you not come across me before I do the ECB reporting networks here, that whenever you're at Arundel, you've got to call it the picturesque Arundel ground or something like that. I've not managed to do it yet. Did you do that in your preview yesterday?
No, I didn't.
I saw it was on the Sunrise as well.
Got to pay for that.
Yeah, you're not getting ice cream later, mate.
No,
That's
I'm not.
absolutely. One of the things they ran out of ice creams last year, didn't they? Being very disappointed. Hopefully they've got some stock for the interval. You can start. The last over of Georgia Adams now from the Castle End. 3 overs, 0 for 33 so far. So all the Vipers bowled 3 overs so far. That's tossed up and hit down the ground. They have to get across the field. That's a little fumble, so it's going to be 2 runs. Lindsay Smith. Jordan really keeping our options open for these last step overs there, the last 5 overs, having all her bowlers she's used so far with 1 over up their sleeve. So really using them in whichever order she likes. She's gone with herself first. So hoiked into the leg side. It's not going to quite carry to the fielder out there. I think it's Faircamp. Okay, it's Faircamp. She throws it in left arm. I couldn't tell that. It's arriving at her. It's another run to the score. 90 for 4. Villiers on 16. Jodie Goodcock 7 off 12 delivers. At some point they're going to have to hit the launch button here. They're going to give Vipers something really testing to chase in the second innings of here. Starts her run, but then decides she doesn't want Georgia Elwes where she was at point. She wants her at mid-wicket. Georgia Elwes is... That's quite a leisurely walk here. They must be in front of the...
Must be well in front of time as well.
They weren't the other day, were they? That the Blaze game that Emily Winton said that the last overs they had to have an extra field inside the square, and that's in the air, nearly to where Georgia Elwes was, but it's just past. Looks for the 2, knocked to Lindsay Smith's arm there at long on. So now the field all going to scatter in different directions for the right-handed Maddie Villiers. So the dog has joined us in the tent.
My dog.
Yeah.
Hello.
Very nice chat with George next to us. That's played down the ground to Lindsay Smith, who's now at long off rather than long on for the right-hander. So singles aren't really going to do it at this stage for me. Whereas something like you.
Yeah, I mean, based on the figures so far, Adams has been the bowler that Sunrise have tried to target.
Trying there to try and leverage that down the ground, but got there on the full, but sort of plays it on the ground. That almost scared to overhit it and find Lindsay Smith down there. It's that. Then have 4 downs. Well, they've still got Flo Miller and Mark Carr, Eva Gregg can hit a ball. Actually, it's back down to 10 here with Nicola Hancock and Sophie Munro. All of them can really hit a ball if needed. So this time it's Paddy Villiers who hits the ball, left side. Don't want to make someone else do your work, but singles don't really help you too much. Here, that's to end the over now. 94 for 4. 4 overs to go. Run rate is at 5.8ish. can't do math quickly enough, and the scoreboard didn't quite update more.
Yeah, as we said earlier, we feel like they'd be disappointed not to, certainly over the 120 mark, a run a ball at this stage. But
especially with the firepower that Vipers have, those sort of a Vipers tax, isn't there? That whatever you would go for, you need almost another 10 runs to it just to be a little bit more confident.
Taylor continuing from the park in a slower ball drilled back down the ground from Villiers, I believe.
Right-handed. Must be right-handed,
yes. So she fielded by Freya Kemper. It's a long one.
She's getting around a bit as well. That she was.
I feel like I'm mentioning Freya Kemper a lot.
I feel like she's mostly been on that sort of that woody side of the ground where there's sort of like a little. I can't say monastery, but it's not a monastery down there. It's sort of just a. I don't know what the building is down there. I don't know if you've ever been over there. There's sort of like a ruin over there. No one's ever been able to tell me what it is.
Taylor to go advances down the track. Carve this one into the offside, not quite out the middle of the bats. Freya once again doing the work down here in front of us. A couple to Jodie Grewcock. We're trying to get a move on with. She's 11 off 15. Grewcock at the moment.
This partnership, see, the foundations are here for the partnership. It's what, 27 of 27 balls now?
Find us. Scroll past that.
Is 29 of 28.
29 of 28, sorry. So my ones hasn't quite updated on my screen. That's
down the track. Grewcock again, fielded Assembly Windsor out there at deep mid wickets. Again, another couple there. As I've said, they're running pretty well with Sunrise. Just they need those boundaries to kick on to that 130, 140.
Switching to the other side, Vipers were very happy with the way they've gone about their work so far. Plays it all out.
Taylor doing once more, Oles, and down the wicket again is Jodie Grewcock, and parries that was George Rannon. There's been past Charlie Knott. This could be a boundary for Grewcock, and it will. It's a pretty unfortunate series of events there for Adam. She stuck out that left hand again, which
brings up for 17 overs.
Quite the same effect with the left-handers on in the day for George Rannon. She sort of put that back onto her knee. Got pretty good contact with the leg as well, which will race past Charlie Knott for a 4.
I don't think it was a good idea to put trampolines in her on her thighs this morning. That's just hit it and just bounced off to the boundary.
Taylor, short ball, pulled away by Grewcock. Has this found the gap? Not quite. Windsor runs round to her left and keeps it to a single as well. Sunday Windsor, 104 for 4 now, the Sunrise. So this partnership beginning to build. Good over for the Sunrisers.
Is it big enough though? I still sort of, was it 4, 8, 9 at the moment with one ball to go. That maths was where you're using maths grips when we're in the media box to the bowl.
Changing the field here. Cover coming up inside the circle. Adams moving herself out to on off. We've got a long on deep square as well. Taylor into Villiers, moves across her stumps and pulls this one out to the vacant deep backward square region. Harmon.
Get any real contact, that's always going to go to the boundary. So it's a good over for the Sunrisers there. They need another couple like that to really sort of get up to that 130 mark. So if they get enough, so what was that off that over? Say 10, 14 off that over. What's 14 times 3, Wes? This is your. Come on, Wes.
32?
No, more than that. More than 32. I can tell you that.
42.
42 runs. So 42 onto this, and that's a very good. That actually looks pretty good score. 50, that would be, yes, exactly. I could have done that much. That's down the ground, and that could be 4 runs. Now just plugged a little bit in the outfield, and Lindsay Smith gets around, so it's only going to be 2 runs.
On this over, Charlie Knott.
Sorry, not bowling this over on Castle End. So far, was it 4 that balls, 3 overs gone for
10 runs.
10 runs. She's on 11 runs. That's also baseball struck down the ground for just 1 though, because Lindsay Smith was up to mid on, has gone back to long on is now sliced into the offside. Oh, that's I couldn't quite gather that in. So it's only yours going to come back to 2, going to come back comfortably in the end from Monaghan's throw. I wonder if those 2 fielders there on the offside, that ball did slice a little bit. You get a little bit more of a slice that sort of come to hands there for Elwood.
I've seen not through that ball a little bit wider. Trying nice Billy's there. I'd say slice it to one of those two.
Again, that's in the pitch a little bit, poked out into the leg side, and a little bit of a juggle for Faircamp, and she gets it in second attempt. Just one run. It's what you do have with this field. For what you had for that right-hander was toss outside off stuff. They went for it. You've got a lot of protection at different areas, really sort of catching and sort of there. But on the leg side, they want to go across for it. But your boundary riders out there as well. So smart captaincy from George Adams this time, not pushing it through, and it could be a run-out chance if she takes it cleanly. It's a direct hit. It's a very half-hearted appeal. She's home
by a long way.
Yeah. How can you tell from here where? Oh, you got the
quick eye to look at the TV screen.
We're looking for a good sort of 60, 70 odd yards away, aren't we? Here and top again. That's a word. Big clunks coming from the tent. So if you don't hear us for a while, send help. That was another smart piece of bowling from Faircamp. Charlie Knott sort of bowling into the pitch. Do this time to Maddie Villiers. She gets her outside off stump again, takes on the run. It's not collected cleanly. And there's a easy run. Come back to the stumps. The end of the over, 116 for 4.
They check that one.
2 overs to go.
Yeah, they'll be looking for sort of minimum 10 and over now, won't they? Sunrise push that up to the high 130s, which is a pretty good comeback from certainly where they were when they lost those 4 wickets for 2 runs.
Yeah, 4 runs they were 6 of that loss, and then lost Joe Gardner, Rose Gibbons, Cordelia Griffiths, and Liston Cloud. Just 2 runs in all.
Rovers, no meant 1 for 80.
It's time to really take a risk now, Sunrise. Got 2 overs there. 6 wickets in hand. And there's plenty of batting still to come. Throw your bat at it there. Not look too silly.
Davies returned from the park end. Got into the offside by Villiers, but no run.
The offset of bat of throwing your bat at it. Got to make your way past the Vipers bowlers, who someone like Freya Davies is very canny. Bowling the last one. Lindsay Smith, 2 of the canniest bowlers in the team.
Tell Villiers trying to carve that through the offside where no one is out on the upside except not at long off. Davies bowled to Villiers down the track, slaps that past Davies, and there is not that one fielder out on the boundary on the offside. They will come back for the second. Good running once more from Villiers and Grewcock.
Sound like a all-out joke now. You say they've gone down the field. Not. The pause there was really sort of
It wasn't intention.
That fun you've had on social this year with Charlie Knott.
Mostly from you. Davies, slower ball, timed into the leg side. They'll come through for 1. Not really thinking about a second there, and that is out there. Click on to that. 119 for the Sunrise and 50 partnership between Villiers and Grewcock. Thank you, George.
He knows what he's doing. He's on the ball there, isn't he?
Just keeping it flowing.
It's like our own special stats man next to us.
You are the Andy Zoltzman of this press box. Press tent.
Very fun still.
Still
It's all kicking off. So there's 2 dogs. I think that's the Windsors dogs there. There's another dogs which have been sat in front of us on the bank all morning and got a little Larry.
Davies around the wicket, down the track comes Grewcock, and she's bowled, cleaned up. Jodie Grewcock. Good bowling from Davies, the slower ball does the trick, and as soon as that 50 partnership is brought up, it comes to an end. Sunrises 119 for 5.
Really, really clever for Freya Davies there. I think she saw her coming, just slowed it up and out of shape, inside edge, off the stump, and off you pop back to the hutch. How many? 22.
5 minutes, 22.
Run a ball 22. That didn't do a 2 minutes.
Batter number 7 on the card, wearing number 4, Flo Miller.
Another of the youngsters who come through these Sunrisers pathways. See what she can do in the final 8 balls. So I was counting on my fingers there. 6, 7, 8. There we go. 8 deliveries of this innings. 119 for 5. Freya Davies now 3 for 17. Really, really impressive from her to go along with her. What's she getting in the first 2 games? 2 for 23 and 1 for 25. Great signing, a great piece of work from, I imagine, likes of Adam Carty and Charlotte Edwards, wheeling and dealing on the transfer market to bring her down to the south coast from South East Stars. In here, that's it's a little fingernail to it, but it goes past her. Freya Kemp gets it in, and shouts of keeper, but it does eventually get through to Rihanna Southby, who ones have already been completed. Last ball for Freya Davies. She runs back to her mark, so
it's been quite close. Hour and 14 minutes so far, so pretty close to
45 is the cut-off, so she has a minute to bowl this ball. 15 seconds. Played into offside. Oh, that's unlucky that from Lindsay Smith. She's actually
parried it
around Emily Windsor, who then recovers to get it back, and that will be 2 more runs for Maddie Villiers. She moves on to 32. Last. So is that Flo Miller? No, it was Maddie. No, it was Maddie. Right.
No, they ran 3.
They ran 3. That's what's confused me there. They ran 3. Maddie Villiers on to 30. Flo Miller's going to take strike to start this last over. She's going to be bowled, I think, almost certainly by Lindsay Smith. It is going to be Lindsay Smith.
5. Swept by Flo Miller. Running away. That's a bit of spin on it. Mary Taylor's running after it and can't quite get there. Boundary off the first ball of the last over. 128 for 5 now in the Sunrise. It's the start they wanted for these final 6 balls.
So yeah, 130 looks almost certain now. Can they get 140? 140 would be a pretty competitive score here. So, it doesn't look to be too many demons in the pitch, but it also doesn't feel like if you bowl accurately, it's not easy to score quickly. So Wipers will be in for a challenge here, whatever gets set.
Smith Brown will get fired in. Worked into the onside by Miller. They'll come through for the single, but Freya Kemp's quick onto it. Up there at deep mid wicket. Keep to a single, brings Villiers back on strike. Yeah. Springfield side. Out at long on, deep mid wicket, square leg. Smith bowls like short for a reverse sweep from Villiers straight to Freya Davies. Short bird who will conclude for the single. And there is that 130.
Accepted that single, didn't they? That Freya Davies sort of really could have pushed, could have shoved, could have tried to shy on the non-striker's end. No point for risk at this point. It's up in the air. It's going to land safe. Big top edge. Freya Davies gets across. It's only going to be a single. Do you want me to take the rest of this while you sort out the end of innings? Exceptional performance. It's going to be exceptional. How it's going to be described on the tweets as it stands. See how exceptional these last couple of deliveries are. Oh, it's an inside edge, and it's just been well hustling and harrying for every possible run at this point. One ball to go, 133 for 5. Smith to Maddie Villiers, who's done really well for her 33 so far. It's fired in, that's hit into the offside straight to Georgia Adams, who would have gone for a run out, but tamely throws it to Lindsay Smith, takes a single, and that is that for Sunrise's innings. 127 deliveries. Vincent Johnner, 61st in the goal. 2 great catches from Charlie Knott. Got Gardner and Scriven.
The end of the 20 Sunrise more on 134.
Run out by Charlie Knott. And even more unbelievable by George Adams. Lifted by 4 wickets, just 2 runs in just under 2 overs, 8 balls. Then a 50 partnership between Jodie Coulcock and Maddie Villiers. Put Sunrisers up to 134. So a pretty good score. Freya Davies was 3 for 22. Yeah, Charlie Adams. That's a win. It is Smith. Was 20.
Restart. It's horrible. No chance for you to get some refreshments.
Let's take a break. And we'll come back to you in 10 minutes of the chase. Vipers mean 135 strong. It's the second game of the competition.
Oh, happy? All right. Yeah.
And it pissed.
What's it like?
Commentary?
We try. We usually do one on my
Well, we need any spare commentators. Did Hayes not show up?
asking.
And Kevin's meant to be at the Hampshire game, so
Yes. Yeah, Kev said to me quite nice today.
busy man.
That bastard flips. What? Bastard flips. Still like restrict. Oh, I thought you took the thing out.
No, I turned it off. For some reason.
Yes.
I was just thinking about it.
To open a Southern Vipers innings, number 1 on the card, wearing number 88, Charlie Knott. John Striker wearing 34, Georgia Elvis.
Yeah. That's they tied 1-1. Yeah, 21 games, won 19 losses. Yeah, lost all 8. All 8 defenders. Yeah. So, what did I say? Was it 107 then?
From Park. 6 on your card, wearing number 9, Jody Grewcock.
Well, welcome back to Arundel Castle. Southern Vipers taking on the Sunrise in this Charlotte Evans Cup match on Bank Holiday Monday.
Okay.
Earlier on, Sunrise has posted 135.
Okay.
134, sorry.
It was weird. Yeah, his stuff was coming through first couple
Joe
of minutes.
Gardner, the stand-up with 42.
I was finding it quite helpful.
Really good 34 not out. Freya Davies, the star with the ball for the Vipers, 3 for 22 in her 4 overs.
Just on the NV play one.
Has been leg spin to start with Jodie Grewcock. On from Parkend to Charlie Knott. Worked into the onside, and Vipers are underway off the first ball. And welcome back, Alex.
Hello, Wesley. Nice little break there. Had a nice little chat with Richard Isaacs, who's scored for the Vipers and statistician extraordinaire. A couple of things to sprinkle in for the second half, so I can't take too many of these. This is a new opening partnership. It is, yeah. Georgie Earl's going up to open. Obviously, she opened against Sunrise the other day, but new for this season.
She batted very well on Friday night at Chelmsford. In comes Grewcock, tossed up and driven beautifully out into the offside by Els. There is a sweeper out there in the deep. Oh, they will come through for a second. Running in the end by Martin Ellis. There was a slight hesitation between the two of them, but make it in the end. So the first time the Vipers played here is as a regional team against Lightning. That's away off the back foot by Elvis. No run. They batted first. Can you guess what score they got? Did they get 134? They got 134 for, I think it's 6 or 7. But they won that game. So that's they bowled out Lightning for 88. Next side is this time from Grewcock. Got square leg. Is that Joe Gardner? 10. No, Eva Gray. No, square leg. Sunrise can take good heed of that 134 has been defended here in a Charlotte's Cup game before. It's away by Ellis into the offside. Will come through for a fairly leisurely single. What they won't take as much positive from is that Vipers have won 10 of the last 12 times they've been chasing in a match that goes back to the start of 2022. And unsurprisingly with Sunrise, I think they've only won 1 game. They've never won when defending. So all those records, all those stats and facts, they're all there to be broken, aren't they? To be broken. I mean, we saw quite a few records tumble yesterday at Utility Bowl in the county championship match there. Tossed up by Grewcock and driven by Knott, and Gardner's claimed the catch there at mid-on, and Knott doesn't look too pleased, but I think she's going to have to go here. The umpires, Rose Devi and Ben Pebble, going to have a little chat. Flashbacks, flashbacks to Wormsley. Is he one took a catch on the boundary and right in front of all the Vipers, in front of the pavilion, and I think the umpires are giving this not out, actually. Rose Devi's pointed to the ground there. I think Charlie Knott is going to carry on batting here. So we cannot help at all. Joe Gardner was diving away from us, so the body blocked the ball's trajectory from our view at the end there.
I was saying bounced.
Georgie analyst is saying that it bounced. That's the Vipers' official.
So no, it didn't look right. It didn't look right.
There's no qualms from Grace Scrivens either. She sort of just carried on walking really when Rose Devi said it bounced.
They accepted the decision with good grace. They did all come together as if they were intended, but there wasn't a ton of it. It was quite expensive. 36 on 34 to get this overall. And hopefully we can just defend with Australian to Australian. No, it's not. That's
That's George Elwes.
George Elwes. We've had this before in the field, haven't we?
Left ankle. So with a 10 on his card, wearing 48.
Georgia Elwes, Charlie not look very similar when they're fielding, and you try them with the bat now already. That's not a great start.
They've both got that very tight brown haired bun. So
They just
their
have
helmets.
very similar sort of mannerism as well. I say that without sort of really inspecting too close. It's outside off stump. Thought for a second that her reaction there was as if she was about to appeal for a little edge behind. No noise came out the mouth. Quiet start here. Big long queue for the refreshment bar behind us.
For the tea hut.
So, just how many people are in the ground today? 400, I'd have thought, was.
Possibly
Very good at guessing numbers. But
try and get the figures.
yeah, that's a full ball that's worked to mid-on. They're taking on the throw, and it's wide and wild. Oh my word, that's a sniper throw taken out. It's just Georgia Elwes. I think it hit her back rather than her. She dusts herself off and gets back up. Without a loss after the second over. Have you mentioned the bonus points? Bonus points? No. This is the thing, we always have a big long discussion about. I've got official confirmation early on. Again, Richard Ibex, very much. 107 Sunrisers need pole Vipers out, and as always, Vipers need to chase down inside 16 overs to get the extra benefit. That's 5 points rather than 4 for the win. That's driven, harried by Cordelia Griffiths at cover, but behind. Single. 16 overs. Vipers will need to knock off these 135 in each victory. Got 6 down already. That's 7 now. 6. It's still not quite.
It's not that far behind.
Working how quickly it is. Just absolutely dead still there. Georgia Elwes is prepared to hit, and she absolutely smashes that through the offside. 4 runs along the carpet the whole way, and this is the carpet of the ground. 4 runs, and that is Vipers' chase really up and running in earnest.
Yeah, beautiful trot from George Elwes. Well, looks like it's one of her trademark shots, really, that square drive. Perfectly pierced the gap between cover and point, and, as you say, raced away across this outfield.
Complete control of that shot, wasn't she? Just continues on from where she batted the other night. 73 not out at Sunrisers the other night, on Friday night. Really up to 8 today, so what's she?
Can she bring up 100?
Exactly, that's what I was about to work out.
3 runs she needs.
So, comes in again over the wicket. That's forward defensive, just nicked very soft-handedly down to third, where they absolutely exploded. Rare camp with Georgia Elwes that day. As we mentioned earlier, 66 runs off those 5 overs.
Wearing 26, shown at 4 on your card, Maddie Villiers.
Spin then from the park end. Maddie Villiers, one of the more experienced players in this Sunrisers side. The Elwes take strike. Yeah, Charlie Knott got off to a bit of a climb and probably took 3 boundaries off the opening over. Slightly quiet here, but then she's only faced 3 of the 12 balls. In comes Villiers. Back of them, pushed into the onside by Elwes. Just be a single.
Was that off Kate Coppack? Or was it Nicola Hancock bowled first over? We were both rushing back to bowl that evening, so we missed the first couple of overs. We were getting to our respective houses. We caught up and
Villiers cut away by Knott, finds Scripps there. Well, okay. Can't quite see the number on the cover shows. It's pacing completely the wrong way.
McLeod or Nicola Hancock. Not about 1, 2, which is.
It is bars to Knott. Swept powerfully into the onside. 1 bounce through the field around deep. 4. Single to Knott. Takes her to 3.
Was Nicola Hancock the cross? So saw her turn around, so now we can position that she's in the covers this end at the moment.
Villiers once more, slightly shorter. Kept a little bit low that one, but then was punches it out into the onside. Another run taken.
Along with the two fielders down on the leg side, which they can have outside the circle for 6 overs, square and deep mid wickets, protecting that leg side straight deliveries.
Tossed up by Villiers, driven out to mid on, goes not quite out the middle of the bat. In comes that square leg fielder now. It's Gardner, who's out to long on. It is. Final ball of the third over, slightly shorter and punched into the onside, sort of half pull, half sweep from Knott. Goes out to Flo Miller at deep mid wicket, single to end the over. Vipers move to 15.
Yeah, just careful, considerate to start at the moment. Just keep on saying, laying that platform, building foundations of this chase. And 35 doesn't feel like it should be too difficult, but it's still testing. It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. Seen before here, as I mentioned earlier, 134 has been a winning first end total. Accurate bowling has been rewarded so far. Change of ball from the Queensland.
Okay, sorry, the Castle end. Well, it's not yet.
First bowl for the Sunrisers.
They didn't make on a card and start. She's replacing Kate Cook, number 11, Sophie Monroe.
She's into the UK Copac and making a debut on loan from the Blaze. Good quick bowler, Sophie Monroe. Always impressed me last year. It's a good start as well. Old shot from not. I wanted to say this and just don't even back myself at all there. I have no confidence in my ability to distinguish the two. But Sophie Monroe looks like she's one of these bowlers. I think Emma Jones at South East Stars is another one. I think Alice Monaghan can go into as well. Who bowls slightly quicker than you think, really skids it through. She comes in, and that's outside off. That's driven beautifully. Absolutely stunning drive by Charlie Knott. That's going to go to the boundaries. 3 fielders trying to chase it, and none of them are getting it within a mile of it. Lovely, lovely shot from Charlie Knott. I think that's her first boundary. She doubles her score from 4 to 8. That should get her going.
Yeah, beautifully timed from Charlie Knott. Once again, finding that gap between those two cover fielders. Yeah, slightly pull from Sophie Monroe, not leading into the beauty.
Sophie Monroe then, how can she fight back from that boundary? Oh, it's in the air for a second, but she's been hit powerfully against the boundary by Charlie Knott. She's flowing now. Likes that pace on the ball. She's just rocked onto the back first and cut that away. It's in the air, just going past Lissy McLeod. But it's taken a catch of George Adams' perspective to see the end of Charlie Knott there. Back-to-back boundaries with Charlie Knott. Her striker goes above 100 and she's a lot more healthy now.
Yeah, that kept Lissy McLeod entertained at point, but just out of reach.
Oh, again, the crease. This time she goes leg side. There's no one out there, so there's definitely, should almost certainly be 2 runs here. Well, there was the George Adams one, which I think was probably its 3rd over of that in 2013. Sophie Monroe is Sunrisers George Adams at the moment. Her pace. Crease again. She goes for a big swing through the offside. Misses it in the marker. Humbled it, but very dangerous run. It's a little bit low, maybe. Good full ball. Eyes lit up with Charlie Knott, but no ding on that one. It's 2 boundaries. It's a stunning shot. I've seen 3 brilliant boundaries before. George Adams a square drive and then cover drive in the cut. Georgia Ellis. It is a square drive burst up from Georgia Ellis.
Nice 2 balls.
Where's just sorting it to go on the socials, and looks like camera didn't function completely as expected for him. He's just trying to edit around that. It's Monroe, and again driven in the air. There's no one there. So Miller's there on the boundary to cut that off. So it's only going to be a single, but it's hit sweetly. That takes us to the end of the 4th over. 26 without loss. Up just under the required run rate. It's chasing down 135 to win.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Sunrise is 30. So Sunrise is actually ahead at this stage of the game. Still only 4 runs in it, but
That's interesting. They didn't start off too bad. They had 13 runs, were scrolling up and down, up and down. We had 8 runs off. Oh, that Mary Taylor.
Coast ball.
Then they really sort of tied the knot with Smith and Charlie Knott.
Very good. Very good.
Trying to work out who the second bowler was, and I had Wes and George both staring back at me as if to say the line.
there you go. 6 runs off the first half of the over.
Seen that Knott's trying to drive at the ball.
Now she drives once more, beautifully again down the drive from Knott, over the head of the bowler. The camera might be in danger there, George. That was pretty straight.
That can have a big
from
wobble.
Charlie Knott. Second boundary of the over and 10 runs off it, all off the bat of Charlie Knott. She moves to 25. But there's 36. I know what make the most of the power play so far.
They changed the field to bring all those fielders into cover, and she said, "Okay, I won't hit it. I'll hit it straight. Hit it back over your head." Lovely strike and really good intelligence from Charlie Knott to sort of play around the field.
Yeah, that cover goes back out from the boundary now. We've got to complete her over. Cuts this one out to that cover sweeper. Take the single. No, there's one more.
He's a bit cold, isn't it? We should just come in from behind us.
Fence one sort of behind the ground, behind us, where we are, right next to the scorebox here at Arundel Castle. Dribble then to complete her over. Elvis cuts, but only 5 points. Hancock there. And that is the end of the 5th over. Vipers 37 for no wickets in pursuit of their 135 side. 100 runs to go.
So what have Sunrise got in terms of bowling here, which we haven't seen? We've seen Jodie Goodcock, Nicola Hancock, Maddie Villiers and Sophie Munro so far. We've got Eva Gray, some pace up. Come in.
Joe Gardner.
Jo Gardner, who, well, whatever she wants to bowl. I think she's bowling off spin now. She bowled medium paces in the past. Flo Miller bowls a bit as well, doesn't she?
And Grace Scriven before.
Yeah, and Grace Scriven bowl her spin as well. So plenty of options for Grace Scrivens to roll through throughout the rest of this innings and test Vipers with different types of bowlers this time.
Castle end. A 10 on your card, wearing 48. Nicola Hancock.
For the first over from this end, second over of the inning. You're going to get her second over. What was 7 that first over? That nice square drive from Georgia Elwes. Pick of the over. She's doing this over there. Big swing from the batter there as Charlie Knott past the outside edge. For a couple of those, attempted outside off stump. Haven't capped up that extra cover region for Nicola Hancock yet.
Yeah, it just seems to be moving it away slightly. Hancock, all right, handed. Entice not into the drive, but short third inside the ring.
Most of this newish ball. Outside off stump again. That's driven nicely. Really attractive shot all along that. Flo Miller trying to get across to stop it, and she does. 2 more runs to Charlie Knott. He moves to 28 off 20 balls. He's in nice flow here.
In nice flow, hitting into flow.
Pardon the pun.
Trying to weave these in.
That again, not on purpose. I'm just a wordsmith. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. Hancock again. Full ball driven down the ground. Nicola gathers it in her follow through. A run forward there.
We've come back from Hancock, almost Yorker length. Dug out by Knott. They both wandering around the ground to our right.
So saw a couple of other footballers. Don Miles, I think, over there as well. So we'll have to see all the angles from this game. Look on all the various social media of the photographers around here. There's again outside off stump. It's going to be a wide ball, too far outside off stump. I feel like it's a plan for Charlie not to bowl outside off stump, even though she looks strong there. That I think sometimes feel like it's going to be her weakness as well.
Yeah, she has looked to drive better. I can see pretty much all the boundaries so far have come from shots on the offside. You know, certainly seen so far this over Nicola Hancock using that away swing.
A little bit based on the ball and sort of trying to get it to nibble outside off stump. This time's short and pulled away. It's going to be 4 runs and Jade scored most of her boundaries on the offside. This time it's on the leg side. Lovely shot there from Charlie Knott. She's into the 30s now. 32. Vipers on 44 without loss. Midway through fifth over. They're really making the most of power play here towards the end of it. Remind me, what is Sunrisers?
41.
41 in their power play. So Sunrisers, some Vipers have already overtaken what Sunrisers managed to get in the power play. Not really the aggressor here. Elvis only faced 12 balls. It's half the amount of balls that Charlie Knott has. She's been able to get going, and here she goes again. Drive, little gap on the offside. Woody Griffiths gets across the edge of the ring to stop and make it only a single. So it's only 1 ball at the end of this over for Georgia Elvis to face. Just ages since I've seen Georgia Elvis face a ball.
Faced the last ball of the previous over, but just the one. Knott has had the vast majority of the strike. Yeah, Elvis took the strike for most of the first 2, and then it's been pretty much all Charlie Knott since.
So 2 of the last 18 balls, or this will be the second of 2 in the last 18 balls, which Elvis will face. Well, she's been watching from the non-striker's end, learning from Charlie Knott how to strike a ball. She's got that will do her confidence. That's the end of the power play then. Vipers on 49 without loss, chasing that 135, so that's what, 86 still needed, I want to say. My math is not good enough. I had to stare at Wes, and he nodded very politely at me as he does his.
I was trying to work it out in the street.
So yeah, well,
86, just over 6s.
And 6 overs gone, so the end of power play, and the score moved on to 49 without loss. Sunrisers at the same stage were 41 without loss.
Good job for us there. I know you said it a minute ago. Going to be Eva Gray.
Bowling change at Park End. Number 9 on your card. We're number 10, Eva Gray.
South East Stars, good quick bowler. The over invincible is in the 100. Good accurate there. It's like, a bit disappointed we didn't see with the backs. You hit a big ball with that as well. Let's start there. And you finish with your tweet now. And back to you, Wes.
Yeah, I remember first Hayward Flint Trophy game last season actually came in 24 for 10 balls, something like that. From the Park End, cut away by Knott straight to fielder at point. Got ball to start the over.
Sunrisers, very famous wins baton, was it? From is it their first ever game against side who had won 2 of the first 3 years of it? Sunrisers turned up at the then a GS1 now Utility Bowl, and a massive surprise, a great performance.
Punch back down the ground by Knott. Couple dots to start the over from Eva Gray.
Where he's runs in that game, so really sort of put them over the edge, or gave some impetus to the end of their first innings. Just big hitting.
Yeah, Maddie Villiers batted really well that day as well. She got, I want to say she got 70 something. Quite have the stats on hand.
Yeah, did Grace Scrivens bowl quite well as well. I feel like I spoke to her after the game. That usually means that they've done quite well.
Done it right.
Never lost to Sunrise in this competition though, the Charlotte Oaks Cup.
This is only the 3rd time these 2 sides have met.
Which surprised me as well.
Short ball from Gray, cut away by Knott, behind square on the offside. But it is running round. Pick it up, point reach the boundary. 4 runs. Knott takes her to 35. And a 50 partnership for these 2.
Really well batted, these 2. No one in the crowd's really realised.
No one.
They're well deserved for these 2. They didn't start on fire and then really found their rhythms. Beautiful shot, especially on the offside.
In comes Gray once more. Cut away again by Knott out to the sweeper. Just be a single this time. Yeah, she's been cutting a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking earlier. Was Sunrise has played a lot down the ground earlier, didn't they? They straight as much as they can, while Notting Ellis here have played sort of square and on sort of more of a cover drive rather than a straight drive. That different tactics against different pitch by this stage in the game. Just let him go down there. Sorry, guys, I was in the middle of saying, making a point. You can take one of the balls in my neck though, but just so we have a fair enough. Going back to what I said, I'm surprised that they've only played each other.
I'm very surprised.
times
Yeah.
before.
I know that this competition is only in its
2021, 22, 23, 24, fourth
yeah.
season of it. Yeah.
But maths.
Just use my fingers again, of course.
Well, yeah, I am surprised because you'd think that the first couple of years that there were two groups, and then there was that one big group last year. That's great. In again to Ellis, again trying to play this square on the offside. Finds that point field. It's the end of the 7th over. Like it's 50-0. Yeah, you see a lot of these teams have really not played against each other that much. I mean, yes, the teams in this regional system have only been going 5 years now, but so I'm surprised to see another one is Western Storm and the Rachel Harepoint Trophy. The Vipers have only, I think, completed about 3 games.
A lot of rain,
So
Sunrise,
all the southern teams will play each other. So we'll play Sunrisers, Storm and Stars.
Stars.
Then Gardner.
Similar to how the men's county championship works as well. That just to even out the season. Just next to the left side there, where there's a little gap, there's a little skills session going on there. By the looks of things, with a whole load of kids. They're doing some throwing at the stumps, relay. Here's Joe Gardner into the attack. She drops that short enough. That's guided down from Charlie Knott. Going to be at least 2 here, as there's a long chase on for Nicola Hancock. They're thinking about 3, but Georgia Ellis says no. She doesn't fancy chances there, getting back to Nicola Hancock first. 2 runs, score 54 without loss now. Joe Gardner here, there are breaks. Well, she's quite local. Rosie. Quite a local player. That's swept away. That's a lovely sweep. That's 4 runs. And that's Charlie Knott into the 40s now. 42 for Charlie Knott. 58 without loss.
Yeah. And she's racing along. It's Charlie Knott. 42 or 29. As in his strike rates. Even around about 140 now.
22. That doesn't show what she did in the Rachel Harepoint Trophy. She started with half century. Here she's driving to Flo Miller on point boundary for a single. Talking a little bit about Charlie Knott in the first half. A bit about her bowling. I don't know whether she's one of these classics. Is she a batter or is she a bowler? That can't really pick. Is she a fielder? The way that she the 2 catches she took, plus the stunning run out to really sort of put the pressure and all the clap. That's a big wide outside off stump. And Ben Pevell took a while to signal that with the big full toss outside off stump. Yeah. Looking at swept inside edge, finds fine leg right on the ring. Missy McLeod.
Yeah, I think I have some information on that skills challenge over there. I'll bring that to you at the end of the over.
You know all the information. Get all the press releases and everything. Man who knows everything. That's big sweep, and this time it still doesn't quite beat Missy McLeod at short fine. Georgia Ellis there sort of waved her hand in exasperation that she's gone for 2 big sweeps there, and neither of them have beaten the fielder there. That a little bit finer and probably trickles away, gets a bit more bat on it. It goes for 4, but she just hit the fielder both times. She'll have a look up some field is. She's going to deliver this delivery. It's just outside off stump, and it's just dabbed again. That's been Georgia Ellis' shot in this inning, just dabbing it to point region and single. 61 without loss after 8 overs. Georgia Ellis on to 16 off. She's actually faced 18 balls in this. Charlie Knott 43 off 30.
Yes, we have quite a number of kids from the Arundel Castle Foundation with us today, from their MCC and inner city hubs. So I think there's a few that were sort of sitting on our right hand side, but it's a skills challenge going away, or underway rather. So that's sort of, if you know how, it's sort of in that gap between the trees where beautiful view over the South Downs. Yeah, there's 3 primary schools in partnership with Capital Kids Cricket. Get back to that after this. Brave ball pulled away by Elwes into one side. Bowman is up there protecting boundary. Another run to Elwes, another run to the Vipers, 62 for naught. And we've also got 3 girls' hubs by partnership with MCC Foundation here today. So good attendance and good work from the Arundel Castle Foundation. Find out more about them on their social media. There's just after school, grey bowls. Ball driven out into the offside by Knott once more. Fielded out on the sweep boundary. They'll come out a second and they will come back for the second quite comfortably. In the end, good running from Knott and Elwes. It's Knott to 45 now, closing in on another half century for the Vipers. Yes, you can find out more about the Arundel Castle Foundation on X at ACCF Charity, Facebook Arundel Castle Creek Foundation, and same on Instagram and also LinkedIn as well. So please do read what the foundation does. Ray in once more to Knott, driven but timed into the onside, goes straight to mid wicket, no run.
Welcome the players onto the pitch. They had loads of flags as they were waving the 2 sets of teams and the umpires onto the pitch before the match. And at the beginning of the second innings, they looked having a great day out. And over there, the skill school they're having over there looks great fun.
Ray in once more. It's the outside edge of the bat this time from that's one where rare delivery she hasn't middled. Get over this from Gray, just the 3 runs off it so far. Which picks up from the gazebo we're under.
What we're seeing here, I know Gray's great over here. Maddie Villiers bowled well for her over, or not quite as many controlling bowlers as Vipers have had. It was Davies and
driven into the upside once more. China picked out that cover sweep quite a few times now. 65 without loss, still well above the required run rate.
Sophie Munro trolling that boundary over there. But, many times Blaze trolling those boundaries as well. That's like she's Anderson one hand of both sides.
Driven off the inside edge of the bat from Elwes. That's a Garner at mid-on, and there's no run to conclude. 9th over, 7 Vipers, 65 for naught in pursuit. They're 135, so even I can do backs on that one. 70 runs to win. They do chase it down inside 16 overs. They do get that bonus point. 4 points for a win in the competition, and it was 107. Sunrise needs to restrict the Vipers to claim bonus point win for them.
Slightly different finals day this year. Obviously going to hope that Vipers are going to be there. Vipers perspective, we're on Viper stream, of course, so we're all team Vipers, I guess. But 4 teams will be there this year, so it'll be more like men's Vitality last finals day rather than 3 they've had in the opening 3 years of it. Villiers is going to continue. She has a little full start and gets back into her rhythm. Loading up. Shuts out of a stump. It's swept by Charlie Knott for a single. She's on to 47 now. So 4 teams will go to finals day, so there's slightly more margin of error. And means the team who come top don't automatically get the final either. So that little bit of benefit isn't as important as it was, but every point is important. And first will play 4th, so Tech should play a weaker team. That's down the wicket and going to take a single up to mid-on there. He just couldn't quite get a farm on the ball. I quite like that it mirrors the men's final day. That's one of the great days in the cricket calendar. But when half teams get through, that feels slightly less jeopardy, but I'm sure there will be when we get to that stage of the tournament. Maddie Villiers in again, that's just whips. Did you get anything on that as it went down the leg side? I said no, so hit either bat or pad. They seem to have doing the fielding there as well, so can roll with it. Short, fine leg, both ends so far. Ready in there. Tossed up, sweeping motion. If you're sweeping your kitchen floor, trying to get myself out of a mistake. Is Maddie Villiers again. It's defended back at her. Got ball. Well, Maddie Villiers does get through her overs pretty quickly. Actually, this time does slow herself down and sort of tells the field to move back to the edge of the ring, with trying not to strike on 49. She comes down the ground. Oh, she hits the fielder, so still on 49 to end the over. So she'll have to wait at least one more ball till she can get to the landmark. It's a good over from Maddie Villiers. Only 4 from it. She's only gone for 8 from her 2 overs.
Time is gone. It's just halfway stage. The Vipers moved on to 69 without loss. Same stage, the Sunrisers were 66 without loss.
Heard there that
PA Doom went up just once upon a time with the Sunrise one. PA Doom took
66, but we know what happened from this delivery on. This is where some riders were really in control, sort of set their platform for a big sort of second half, and then they lost their next 8 balls, lost 4 wickets for 2 runs. So some risers
Returning at the park end, Sophie Munro.
Bare minimum will be not to follow that example.
And Georgia Ellis doing sort of what she did on Friday night as well. So going at just under a run of ball, and then if she is still in next few overs, second half of the innings, she will look to unleash, as we saw on Friday night at Chelmsford. Finished on 77. I'm trying to find out how many balls she's in. As we've got Sophie Monroe for the first time from the park end. Well, it's wide down the leg side, and Nora Khan does get a glove on it. He's to just the single, so it will bring Charlie Knott back on strike.
Almost taking a top
So the Vipers past the 70 mark, 71.
Charlie Knott on 49 again.
Here's Monroe then, bowls to not push it into the onside, and there's a 50. Excellent knock from the young Australian. 50 off 40 balls.
That's 50 off Charlie Knott on 40 balls, including 6 balls.
6 boundaries from Knott, and all 6 couldn't really fall. They've all been perfectly timed. Their third 50 plus score for the Vipers, 1 century. That being in the Rachel Harefield Trophy game at Bristol against the Storm. Elwes back on strike now. That wasn't driven, well timed by Elwes, but Moreau gets a hand onto that.
Really good temperament, isn't it? She's never really, I mean, there's a couple she wafted at outside off stump, barring those, she's in complete control, driving, say, her boundaries almost all of them just gone straight on the floor. It's only her second ever T20 50. First one came for Wellington women in the Super Smash in New Zealand to Canterbury, to a short 51 off 24 balls.
So ball this time from Monroe. Was puts it into the onside. It will scamper through for a quick single. Again, really good running from DC. A couple of hesitations early on, but they've been good in their communication out there. Any mix-ups, as we saw in the Sunrisers innings.
Batted together too many times. They batted together Beckenham in the opener, the Charlotte Edward and the Rachel Harefield Trophy. They might have
done Bristol.
Wouldn't have batted too often together.
Folder cleaned up, and that is the end of Charlie Knott. Middling leg stump crashed into, and Sophie Monroe gets the breakthrough for the Sunrisers. And the Vipers lose their first wicket. It's 73 for 1.
50 out for Charlie Knott, but say the previous best score was 51, so she hasn't beaten that today, but very fine innings and an unfortunate way to go, really, that
Charlie Knott have reached her 50s, followed by Sophie Monroe.
Hitting the top of middle stump.
Here comes through Southern Vipers captain, wearing number 1, Georgia Adams.
Not a great sight to see for Sunrisers that you've worked really hard to get Charlie Knott out, and next up is Georgia Adams, but you never count out Georgia Adams. When she walks the crease, you expect runs, don't you?
Yeah, she got a couple of 50s already. The Rachel Harefield Trophy. One against Beckenham to start the season, and one against Thunder over at Wormsley. But if one of these two were to get out, you've got Freya Kemp coming in next. So there is just no respite for the Sunrisers.
Or Mary Taylor. She's been going up the order a couple of times. They were all certainly fair Kev, but there's so much talent here. You go through that into Emily Windsor, into Harmon, into Alice Monaghan. Lee Southby looking better and better every time you see her, I find. Lindsay Smith and Freya Davies as well. That plenty more batting to come. That wicket won't perturb the Vipers too much.
George Adams driving out to Grace Scrivens.
I did quite enjoy one of your social media posts with Georgia Adams the other day when she missed the first game, so you did a post of she's coming back. It looked like she was bowling herself in the net, that you had shot of her bowling a ball, and then the next shot was her batting it, and you thought, this girl's very talented. She managed to get into both ends. She's having a good battle with herself.
Monroe in, slightly shorter and worked into the onside by Adams. Won't take on the arm of Garden, will just be the single.
What'll be interesting here is that Ellis hasn't faced too many balls here that sort of seen when she has faced balls that she's managed to sort of get herself going pretty quickly. But it almost feels like two new batters at the crease in a weird way. Despite Georgia Ellis being out there for 11 overs now.
Yeah, she faced a couple this over, but faced one in 10th over, two in the 9th over, 4 in the 8th over, 2 again in the 7th over. So she certainly less than half the strike.
Facing Joe Gardner here, is this? That might be Villiers. Villiers. It is Gardner. It's right first time. You shoot me, and George knows. The Oracle on the end knows exactly who's who. So Villiers 2. Oh, right on off spin. That's down next side, and she gets a tickle again straight to Lissy McLeod. Gets a run. Yes, it is her run. It didn't come off her bat. 75 for 1. It's all going too nicely at the moment for Vipers, despite that wicket. 60 still needed. 53 deliveries. That's Georgia Elwes. She pushes that to the boundary rider point. So we've talked about the Vipers here. What does Sunrise need to do here, do you think, to really push through? You have a think during this ball, and I thought she was about to bowl that ball. She's actually changed her field. She's sent mid-off back to long-off and brought square leg up into the ring. That's mighty brilliant. Georgia Adams looks to push into leg side. No run.
I suppose the obvious thing Sunrise need to do is just take wickets, but as you said earlier, there is just so much batting to come for the Vipers.
Gardner again pushed into the leg side. No little collision between Elwes and Gardner, and there was a run out shy at the stumps which missed it, and everything happened. Everything happened very slow and low key. Like, no one seemed to get too excited. No one seemed to sort of exaggerate their movements, and the offset is that it's just a single.
I suppose the other thing the Sunrisers can do is just bowl tightly and bowl to their field, try and restrict the number of boundaries they concede.
Gardner's been doing that quite well there. That was another tidy delivery, just always maybe a single for Georgia Elwes. Couldn't really get any sort of swinging motion to get any more than that. She was tied up by Gardner.
Just 4 runs off this over so far with 1 ball to come.
Pressure to get out of it. She can get out of it with the dot ball. That's a good over from Joe Gardner. The pressure, what Sunrisers need to do. That is exactly what Joe Gardner's done that over. 78 for 1, 8 overs to go.
Vipers need 57. And Sunrisers keep the required rate just above a runnable though. I always feel they're in the game. As soon as that rate does drop below 6 and 0, then you feel that Vipers can comfortably see this home. Looks like we've got change of bowling from the park end. That's Jodie Grewcock will return. 2 overs, 0-15 so far. Will be Elwes on strike. 21 not out from their 25 deliveries. Here's Grewcock. Also Elwes. Swept nicely down to deep backward square. Flo Miller's running after it, but she can't get there. Great shot from Georgia Elwes. So the 25, Vipers into the 80s now. And exquisitely timed shots.
Third band, Georgia Elwes as well. All three of them have been absolutely stunning. Square drives that they'll just dab down to fine, and then that sweep there. She middles the ball. She really does middle it to the boundary.
She's working the field as well. Saw no one was behind square on the leg side. Makes space for herself this time. Cuts this one into the offside and take a quick single. Brings captain back on strike. She's really just sort of work those gaps, as Georgia. I was saying, even that single there, there's a slight gap between Cordelia Griffith at extra cover and I can't see that is at point, but made sure there was no one there. And Adams does the same thing, goes back and cuts this one out to sweeper. Looks like Eva Gray out there at deep cover. 84 for one now, the Vipers.
We've taken, 6 off us over already. That's a good platform for each over, isn't it? That need to go at just over 6s. If you get 6 within the first 2 or 3 balls, then you really feel like you're on top of that over.
Driven once again by Elwes, just be another run. That's that cover sweeper.
It feels at this stage of the game it's about winning each over. If you win more than half of the overs here, you expect Vipers to win it. Sunrisers need to win a significant amount of the overs, and so that winning of the overs.
It doesn't look like the Vipers will get the bonus.
There wasn't sort of much danger there. She sort of got herself into position early and then sort of put her bat in a position where she could either try and hit it leg side or offside, depending where it landed. So we can talk about Georgia Adams and her skills and quality. Her eyes are among the best in the game, really. At 3
Running at Cosland, Peckover Hancock.
roll again in the middle overs. 14th over of the innings. Her first 2 overs from 19. Most expensive of the bowlers so far in terms of runs per over. Obviously, we've got to bowl an extra over. Just positioning her field.
The other scores.
Should we have a little rundown of the scores? I know George is pretty eager to hear it, so you might as well.
Read about
So,
Other game going on at the moment over at Headingley. Northern Diamonds taking on the Central Sparks. A reduced game there, 11 overs aside.
okay, so worked down leg side, and the fine leg's not there anymore. Alice McLeod has moved on. It's gone for 4 runs. He's moved on to the offside. That's just ticking away. He's done that a couple of times in this innings, and this time there's no one there, and it's gone for 4. It was a strange place to take a fielder out, seeing as the amount of times that the fielder there has been hit. So Adams her first boundary. I think the other game's already been washed out at Beckenham.
Just the 6 overs of play over there at Beckenham. But coming back to that Diamonds game, they now lost a second wicket there, 14 for 2. But Lauren Winfield Hill out for 5, caught Perrin bowled Potts, and Dobson out for a duck, caught Pavely bowled Arlott.
Hancock goes for a drive there, plays over the top of it because Georgia Adams got ball. That's down to 11 aside, 11 aside game.
But Stars against was off.
That's all. Stars versus Storm only had 6 overs of play, 38 for 3 until the rains came and Beckenham went underwater by the sound of things. So,
And the Blaze unbeaten so far in this competition.
they did yesterday, didn't they?
Thunder yesterday, 5-wicket win for them over at Loughborough.
Hancock just tries to dab that into the leg side, no run. Well, to Loughborough were they back to their spiritual home? They've done quite well. I saw Catherine Bryce got 50 there to get them over the line. So Hancock to Adams this time. She whips it square, deep square, where evenly does the fielding. 1 run. 5 off the over so far. I say evenly.
Yeah, he said it.
Eva Gray. Got the Eva bit right. Whops her bat on the ball to dot ball. Bonus point looks a long way away.
It doesn't look like it's there.
It's the Ivor team as well. Sunrisers need to bowl Vipers out for restrict them to 107. Mark on to 91. 1 at the moment.
Yeah, 2 and a bit overs to get 44 runs from that. Opportunity's pretty much gone, but I think all the vibes is getting over that line and getting those 4 points. Take them up to third, potentially.
Actually done a lot this innings, takes on a quick single to point and gets in Georgia Adams very comfortably. And that's the end of the over. 92 for 1.
Certainly not out of things. Yeah, Blaze currently top of Rachel Hayerfin. Charlotte have come to tables, are they? I think they're bottom of the Rachel Hayerfin Trophy table, actually, with Blaze.
You might have got the bottom in the 10. Even great. And the table up here to have a look. Eva Gray coming on from the park end. Blaze are bottomed by a point. Sunrise is at top by a point.
In Charlotte's last two should try and find the right website for the most up-to-date table.
So it's a little tab there you can click on there.
Eva Gray then from the park end, short ball and cut away by Elvis out to that cover sweeper, as she's done so often in this innings. 5 to 92, their partnership to 20 between the two Georges.
I'll go get that sorted by the ECB now. I'll send it to someone. I know someone who can get that fixed to make sure it doesn't.
It's update on the ECB website. So yeah, Blaze top of the table, 3 wins from 3 games. They're on 12 points, and the Stars 11 points with 2 wins in that washout today. Sparks currently in third with 9 points, Thunder on 5, and Vipers currently on 4. So may well jump up to 4th. This one's punched into the onside by Adams. Been stopped from Villiers there.
The wind's stopped sort of blowing quite as hard now. The sun's sort of come over again as the plane goes above. But just had a moment there as I looked out and thought, I don't know if there's anywhere else I'd rather be than at Arundel Castle Cricket Ground. What a lovely ground this is. Everywhere, any angle, anywhere here, and you get a lovely angle. A lovely view.
Rain again, driven back past the bowler by Adams. Scribbins does the field captain to captain. Another run taken, Vipers to 94. Yes, the Vipers are back here at Arundel, not for a little while though. Come back in Monday 26th of August in the Rachel Hayerfin Trophy, where they take on the Blaze. That'll be after, first came back after the 100, so a lot of these players playing for Southern Brave in that competition. Worked into the onside by Elvis. They're running the first one quickly, but Flo Miller's onto that rapidly. That back is square.
Some tickets for as well.
Thursday, yes, absolutely. T20 doubleheader down at Utilita Bowl. Hampshire Hawks first game and Vipers 4th game. Vipers 3 o'clock start on Thursday. And the Hampshire Hawks men Storm, Western Storm indeed. Yeah, the team I don't think they've played too many times in the Charlotte Evers Cup.
I definitely remember them playing there last season, and Vipers won that game.
You were right. Into Adams, and a big shout for LBW, and it's given! Vipers lose their captain, and Eva Gray gets the breakthrough. It's the big wicket of Georgia Adams. She goes for 11, and the Vipers 95 for 2 at the end of the 15th.
She played across a straight one there, was canning into her pads, and I don't have the best angle here, but it looked pretty adjacent to me.
The bowling of Eva Gray 11.
Sort of a long finger going up of Rose Dovey. Well, really iconic now, isn't it? It's up there with sort of the Steve
Coming back up. 4 on the card, wearing number 6, Freya Kemp.
Famous umpires in the world, but Rosie Dovey's slow rains of death takes another victim of Georgia Adams, with Freya Kemp joining Georgia Elvis at the crease. These two, a bit of fun on Friday night, didn't they? 110 wasn't it?
110, the Vipers' biggest ever partnership in the Charlotte Evers Cup, overtaking Maya Boucher and Danny White's opening stand against Thunder in the Eliminator last year over at Worcester.
Won't have to do that today, will they? There's only 40 runs still required. But they would love to still be there, both at the end of this, with victory to their name. conversation, sending back. The garden's already halfway back to long on. It's been sent all the way. It's now left-hander for Freya Kemp, so it's a slightly different proposition for the bowlers. Bowled only at right-hander so far in this innings. The Sunrisers had quite a few left-handers I've had to deal with. Freya Kemp facing out her first ball.
Driven out into the inside by Kemp, and I thought it was the end of the 15th over last ball, but it's not, apparently. I thought that was. But yeah, dot ball to conclude the 15th over. 95 for 2 is the score. And what is that? After 8, if my maths is correct, 40 or 5 overs.
And we play, and that will tell me that its acquired rate is at 7.7485, and another ball has gone since then, so it's 8 and over, but it's a player or two players who you'd want to be out there. It's a massively experienced Georgian for us.
26, Maddie Williams.
The last time I watched Freya Kemp bat and not be impressed by her, to be honest. She hits the ball so cleanly, you can find gaps, you can go big. It's going to be Maddie Villiers coming on from the Castle end, returning with her off spin, move the wicket, reverse sweep, attempted by Georgia Ellis, big appeal, not out, so they scamper through for a leg by. Square leg, it's quite square, so the reverse sweep was on there, didn't quite nail it. Leg bias for them as Ben Peveril, the umpire at that top end. Now left-hander again, it's going to be when Freya Kemp's faced up against Maddie Villiers. Yeah, shifting the fielders across the punches down the ground for a single. Can't quite work out who's that. That's Jo Gardner.
Jo Gardner.
It's here, she's there, she's everywhere. Jo Gardner is now moving out to long on. She's going long on to long on, but having to move for each different batter, Maddie Villiers. And she's in the game again, in the hot seat at long on as Ellis works it. To long on. Another single, milking the runs here. So run every delivery, every ball of this over so far. Eagles on 3 runs, Jordan's leg by. Freya Kemp. Cut. That can be another single. So they carry on like this. This isn't enough, is it? But
they need to find some boundaries fairly soon. This last 5 overs, 25 runs taken off it.
Let's take down that going under 4s so far as Georgia Ellis is too happy about some sort of movement. And so fielder or dog wagging its tail over there. I don't know if that was the problem. So this time comes in and drives it into the offside. It's not going to go to the boundary. Fro Miller comes across again. She's made up some ground, but can't prevent the second run from coming back. Well round there from Georgia Ellis.
And that brings up the 100 for the Vikings.
Ellis has contributed to 33. So 35 balls. She kept other players company so far, really, isn't she? Especially Charlie Knott at early stages. She can go on. She goes for another reverse sweep that's beating her outside what was originally her leg stump, but became the off stump. Switched to go to the left-handed shot. So, end of the 16th over. So, no bonus points for Vipers today. 101 for 2. That's 36 needed from the last 26 balls.
Well, the Vipers took 66 off the final 5 over at Chelmsford. And he's 34 off the final 4 here at Arundel. And it's the same 2 batters at the crease, Georgia Ellis and Freya Kemp. And Ellis playing a very similar knock to the one she did on Friday.
She exploded that leg. She do that today.
She did explode. And Freya Kemp, I can see her with the ball sailing over the rope. And she's got bat in hand.
Sophie Monroe.
This might be an over target. She's going 8, Sophie Monroe. She's got the wicket. 1 for 16. The wicket of Charlie Knott. Bowled after this as well. Charlie Knott had brought up her 50. But first, Charlotte Edwards cut. She do returns.
Round the wicket, short ball to start with. Pummeled by Freya Kemp. It's straight to Cordelia Griffith at mid-wicket. And that is a massive wicket for the Sunrise. One of the main power hitters in this Vipers side. She hit it cleanly, but straight to the fielder, Freya Kemp. And that is a big blow. Vipers 101 for 3.
Huge. This could be a pivotal moment in this match. Vipers have been sort of going about their business pretty quietly here. They've been odd boundary, but send Nancy Harmon up the order to come in. So it's not Mary Taylor who has been going up the order there, but Nancy Harmon can hit a big ball as well. Sunrisers, they keep on sort of putting this pressure on, put the ball in Vipers' court and have to attack. The more that Vipers have to attack, the more pressure, the more
Break sport way more than so.
Nancy Harmon is a batter who can quite easily send it over the rope. Same with
People with bad arm.
right.
Seen it hard.
She's been hitting it pretty cleanly in some of the friendlies and warm-up matches they've had. Quick 540 odd, I think, against the score.
Actually, well at Wormsley in the Rachel Hereford Trophy and CEC, and Alice Monaghan got them over the line against the Lancashire Thunder.
Slightly different innings required from her here. 34 needed from 23 balls for Vipers. Still 7 wickets left. Still no reason to panic just yet. But we need to start finding that boundary soon as Monroe continues from the park end. Also over the wicket to Harm. Slightly slower ball. Punched out to Griffith.
Do you notice that as soon as that ball went to the hand, there was a gentleman in front of us who packed up his deck chair straight away as if he was only here to see Freya Kemp. Freya Kemp's day was done, and packed up his deck chair, and he's either moved to another part of the ground or he's gone home. But he's Freya Kemp's biggest fan, then he's probably gone home.
Monroe in again and driven by Harmon. Clear single. Joe Gardner once again. Good long to long on. She's done a lot of running today, Joe Gardner, I think. 102 for 3 now, Vipers.
She won't have to do any of those top-up runs at the end of the game, will she? Players all dread having to do if they haven't done quite enough running during the game, that the S&Cs make them get their body up, because they take on so many of these different supplements and stuff that to get them game ready to make sure they get through the game, that they need to make sure they run them off, run that energy off.
Here's Monroe then continuing. Bars to Elvis. Give yourself some space in the crease, and is it catch for Gardner? It is. No mistakes this time from Gardner, and that is Elvis out. The other set batter for the Vipers. And 2 wickets in the over for Sophie Monroe. 102 for 4.
That was very clever bowling, Sophie Monroe. I think she sensed that Georgia Ellis was going to go off it. She took a bit of the pace off it. Well, in the arc, knew the fielder was out there, it was miscued.
Well, bowling of Sophie Monroe.
There isn't many safer hands in regional women's cricket than Joe Gardner.
33.
Why you put her in the hot spots at long on, she doesn't let you down, or she does very rarely. 33 for Georgia Ellis.
Number 5 on the club, wearing number 4, Emily Windsor.
Yeah, the end must be near if Emily Windsor's here to won many a game, scoring the winning runs. Can she do so today? We'll see. 33 more to get. There's one player. As the game's getting a little bit nervy, you want to come into the crease. There's not many in this Vipers team you'd want more than Emily Windsor. She doesn't seem to feel the pressure, does she?
No, as you said, so often she hits the winning runs, and they call the winning runs Windsor for nothing. But they just need to build a bit of a partnership here with Vipers. There's not much time to get one going. I suspect Windsor will just try not to nurdle it around, not try and take on the boundaries too much, but she's very quick between the wickets, is Windsor, as Monroe bowls. Short ball and punched into the offside. We've had to wait for that one. Another slower ball from Monroe, taking the pace off, making the Vipers work for these runs.
Windsor got 59 here last year in the Rachel Hereford Trophy game against Thunder, wasn't it? They were good then. We went just off at the back of the 100, and you could see that she's working on the 100 with her power, hitting down the ground, like never seen pace shots on the leg side and everything. It's a really good innings that was. We need to do some similar here.
Full ball from Monroe. Windsor drives us out into the offside. Looks for the second, but see the grey out there again. Was building an excellent over from Sophie Monroe. 2 runs off it, and those 2 big wickets of Kemp and Elwes. And the Vipers, that run rate 11 and over, or just under 11 now.
That's 3 runs to go. 32 runs.
The equation. I remember these two were involved in a run out in the first game, weren't they? Nancy Harmon got ran out against the Blaze, so we know how quick both of them are between the wickets. Just need to make sure that communication is as hot as possible. Emily Windsor's sort of style here is probably going to be to sort of pick those gaps, run hard. So I just need to make sure they're both in the same wavelength. Piece that opening game at Blaze. So skewed away the offside. Emily Windsor wants to come back for 2. She's quick. She's going to get there. Really, really well run. This is what I was saying. That's what Emily Windsor's going to be trying to do. She does that. Takes on her number set. Well, Miller, both wearing number 4. It's very much appreciated by crowd here. Really good crowd. 2 car parks open. In fact, that's the standard going forward for every competition, is how many car parks you have open.
Just a quick update from Headingley. Northern Diamonds 46 for 5 after 7 overs. A reduced game, 11 overs aside there. Emily Arlett with 2 wickets. 1 for Grace Potts, 1 for George, and 1 for Davis as well.
He's waiting at the top of the stump set to wait there. Doby to re-bail the stumps after far this over. 4 runs from Maddie Villiers has been very tight so far. It should go for 4, it does go for 4. What a good shot that is from Emily Windsor. She timed it well, and it helped the fielder out there. Couldn't balls, 14 balls to go. Now 13 balls to go as Windsor hits some really back on course after those quick wickets. Chase down the 135 runs they need for victory. And it really is preparing to bowl to Emily Windsor again. So bat up high. Advances, takes 2 steps, stumped. Emily Windsor, she did the hard work, 2 balls. She went for another big shot, missed it, and Amara Carr. Ball went into the gloves. She barely had to move it an inch to just take off the bails. Emily Windsor has gone for 10. Vipers now 113 for 22 needed off the last 2 overs. Oh, bit squeaky bum time over here.
Very squeaky bum types. 22 off the final 2 overs.
Windsor was stumped by Amara Carr for bowling a Maddie Villiers to 10.
That felt like Vipers were in complete control of that chase.
Wearing number 20, Alice Monaghan.
So back towards the momentum has swung towards the Sunrisers. Back towards the Vipers, to the Sunrisers, going either way. Don't think I've got a wasp on here. If there's a wasp, it's probably gone to try and sting something along the way to avoid having to make a definitive call.
But it is the 2 that got the Vipers over the line at Wormsley against Thunder in that Haverford Trophy game. It's Monaghan and Harmon. As Monroe starts the 19th over, slower ball and punt down the ground by Harmon.
6 that Monaghan hit at Wormsley against Thunder in that successful chase. That'd probably reach us here, wouldn't it?
Definitely
how fast you hit
that was a very long way. That's 6.
Vipers had the boundary out as far as they could possibly go, didn't they? They wanted the boundary as big as possible, and Alice Monaghan said, "Are you sure these can't go any further? Too small for me."
Monroe on the park into Monaghan and flips this one behind. Yeah, they can't find those boundaries. They need threes. Monroe in, slow ball, and looks to work this into the onside as Monaghan. All trickles out behind square on the offside. They will scamper through for another single. 4 runs off the first 3 balls.
Seeing as people in deck chairs to our left who have all started turning around a bit more now, towards us but not at us, more at the scoreboard that is next to us. There's some more people on the benches in front of us. Everyone looking at the scoreboard trying to work out what the calculation is.
Monroe, Tarman, quicker ball down the leg side. Good stop by Amara Carr. Saved a certain 4 byes. It is a wide. Another run for the total. 118 for 5.
17 off 9. Helps, doesn't it? Wides really do help.
Oh, they might
And
be out of time here as well.
They've run out. They've run out of time. They're going to have to bring one of their fielders into the ring, which will only aid Vipers even further. Good spot there, George. He's got the clock on. So if you meant to bowl your overs in an allotted amount of time, is it? About 90 minutes.
Yeah.
We've all looked at each other and drawn a blank.
About an hour and 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and if you don't bowl this in that time,
if you don't start
to do these final deliveries of.
She bowls a slow ball driven out into the onside. Is quite deep. Does it split the field? It's not quite. It's almost a collision between Villiers and Garner. They all go through for a couple of runs. And it's good work in the end on the boundary between those two. Bounces down the track. It's stumped. It's a wide. And as you say, pretty much a free hit for Monaghan. Well bowled by Monroe, hiding it outside the off stump. So it's just the 1 run conceded for the Sunrise. That's the main thing for them. Vipers lose Monaghan. 122 for 6 now. 1 over to go.
Who wins that delivery? It's a wide under wicket. It feels like there's an honours even there. This is starting to get sort of flashbacks of that game against the Blaze where he didn't chase down at just over 100. Just get that down to see exactly how many.
Monaghan was done for the play of our half of 4.
It's getting a little.
Some players awarded a penalty rate restriction on that over, and therefore only a maximum of 3 fielders are allowed outside the fielding circle till the end of the match.
Game against the Blaze in the opener, but Blaze only got 112 and Vipers didn't chase it down, only got 109. Didn't score the 10 they needed off the last over. This time they need 14 off the last over. So there's another ball. There's a wide ball, wasn't there?
Here's Monroe then to complete the 19th over, cut away into the offside by Southby, the new batter, and they will come through. For a single, so it's the rate stays at exact 2 runs at all. 12 required from the 5 linemen. I have to say, if we did have a wasp, it'd be very much in the Sunrisers camp at the moment.
Yeah, to go with the win viz.
12 required.
We'd probably get this 70-30 towards the Sunrisers. Where would you sit? George, you can get involved in this as well.
They can't possibly do.
12 by 10. Even
all it takes is a good start to the over. If Southby can get a boundary off the first couple of balls, and
so far only gone for 10 runs. You've also got the wicket of Georgia Adams. Annoys me. So they have to score more than double what she's gone for in her first 3 overs in the last over. Big conversations taking place all over the place. Grace Scrivens chatting with Eva Gray at the top of Eva Gray's mark. Nancy Harmon and Rihanna Southby have ended their little conversation. Rihanna Southby marking out her guard, checking out the field, working out where her boundary options are, where she can take the 2s. Field, they obviously can only have 3 outside the ring because they've overrun, gone on the leg side, long on, deep mid wicket, deep square leg. Everyone on the offside on the ring, no one out on the offside. Here she comes, Gray. Works into leg side, but it's come off the pad, so it's only going to be a single start off, a leg by. So, good start for the Sunrisers. 11 needed off 5 balls now. Just hadn't clocked Sophie Munro's figures. Her debut for Sunrisers, 4 for 27. It's a great start for her Sunrisers career on loan from the Blaze. Eva Gray, the woman in possession of the ball now. She's the important Sunriser. Nancy Harmon on strike for the Vipers. Comes Gray. Whacked into the leg side. It's going to definitely be one. Nancy Harmon wants to, or she shouts no straight away. So only going to be a single here. 10 needed off 4 balls now. Should remind you that Sunrisers only ever won 1 Charlotte Edwards Cup game before. It was the first ever game they played in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. They've got close a couple of times. They tied a game against Thunder 2020 teams won. They haven't managed to get over the line and win a game since that first game in it against the Western Storm. Eva Gray here comes in again for third ball of the over. Ramp attempt, missed. Goes through the keeper. They're going to run it by. So only 3 off the first 3 balls. It's 9 off 3 now. This is all Sunrisers now. Need something special here from Nancy Harden. Needs a boundary, doesn't it, Wes?
It does, yeah. No one is out on the offside. It's just a complete ring field in the offside. There's 3 players out. You're trying to spot. You've got a long on, a deep mid wicket, and a deep square leg.
Well, very straight so far, so they've not been able to get it to the offside. This one's outside off stump. She's hacked it into the leg side. Definitely going to be one there. Has it found the gap? No, it hasn't. Good slide coming across there by the fielder at deep square. They're going to come back for 2. That's again a win for the Sunrisers. 2 balls remaining, 7 runs needed. It's going to need 2 boundaries really here.
It's going to need precisely to get 7 off 2. Harmon on strike. She can clear the ropes. We've seen her do it before.
She desperately needs to do it now. It's now or never for Vipers. Eva Gray on strike at the Arundel Castle ground.
You've got the ramp in a locker.
2 balls to go. 7 runs needed. Goes into the leg side again and finds the fielder at deep square. She's going to have to come back for 2. They're going to come back. They're going to get 2. So it's a big last ball where 5 is going to be needed. 4 for the tie. We've known that Sunrisers have had a tie before.
Exactly the same situation as it was at Tudor's Bowl against Blaze in the opening game. They needed 5 off 1.
See Harmon on strike. She's had her head down on the handle of her back there, trying to really sort of clear her mind, decide what she wants to do. Knows what she has to do. She has to find the boundary one way or another. 4 will be a tie. 6 will win it. Eva Gray bowled brilliantly today. Only 15 with 1 ball to go of her spell. She bowls into the slot and it's into the leg side. It's not going to be a boundary. It's going to be a win for the Sunrisers. Their second ever win in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. They come back for 2. And what a day for the Sunrisers. Their first win of this year's competition. First since the first game of the Charlotte Edwards Cup in 2021. And they're celebrating in the middle. Really, really great last over from Eva Gray to see the game out. And that's a bitter pill to swallow for the Southern Vipers. They've only won 1 of their first 2 matches. So, didn't manage to get for them as they got to 134 by Grace Scrivens and looks back in hindsight. That's 130 total. Then the Sunrisers won 10 of the last 12 games while chasing. Sunrisers have never defended the score of the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Charlie Knott got them off to a great start with Georgia Airways. They put on 73. Charlie Knott got her first 50 in the Charlotte Edwards Cup, a second of her 2020 career. But after that, once they went, or Charlie Knott went to the 11th over, Vipers just lost their way, never really got going again. So we just pulled it back.
Over a run of ball, which they did. They were always. That just goes to show a great, as you say, a great last over from Eva Gray. A bit too much to do. It's an excellent game of cricket against the Western Storm. It's a half-one start. I see you in Southampton on Thursday. Thank you very much.